Oh. Oh, hello. Oh, listen to that music. What's up, everybody? This is MMA Fighting's official UFC 281 weigh-ins live stream. Thank you for joining us. This is the voice of Alexander K. Lee. Throwing up a poll right now. I'll get to that in a second. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We will have weigh-ins beginning, as you can see on the. There's our producer Casey. We will have weigh-ins starting, as you guys can see, probably under 2 minutes. Jose Youngs is on site. We've got a digital scale on the stage. Oh, that was Jose. Also joining us this morning, of course, the wonderful Mike Heck, my best friend.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a great day, and it's like an early birth. It's like another birthday for AK because a week after his actual birthday, it's a weigh-in day and a big one at that. So
Man.
this is everything you could have hoped for, AK.
And you won't hear him or see him, but the venerable New York Rick is also next to me.
Oh, New York Rick is there.
Yes.
He's not in the tweet. I didn't put him in the tweet. People won't know.
I would assume New York Rick would be here covering a weigh-in in New York.
Oh yeah, the name is a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? And of course, in the truck, on the ones and twos, producer extraordinaire EKC Light.
Beep bop boop bop beep.
Well done. We've got a poll up, guys. Vote in that when you get the chance. How many titles change hands on Saturday? 2, 1, 0. I think that's all the options. Math's
3,
never been my
4.
strong point. 3. You never know. You never know what kind of craziness could happen, right?
Don't limit yourself.
I don't limit. Who knows? Maybe Volkanovski shows up and goes like, I'm relinquishing the featherweight title. Going after that lightweight title. Let's make it official tonight. And then we see another title naturally change hands. We'll change hands literally. Anyway, Jose, who's coming up first?
I don't know.
Okay.
I do not know. No one's there.
It's going to be a champion. It's going to be a champion.
But
I should just.
We know who it's gonna be.
I've been told it'll most likely be Israel first.
Of course, the man himself, the man
Source,
that the
USA
show was
Today.
built around. Yeah, I think I'm not we're not expecting too much drama today. We never expect drama. That's
not what we want. We don't want
there have been some memorable moments with the New York Commission, certainly in the past. But again, I am crossing my fingers that everything goes well for all 28 fighters competing today. None of whom I had to think about this.
All right, thank you all for being here for
might
the
be
official
Carla,
weigh-in for
Carla.
UFC 281. Adesanya versus Pereira.
Live.
And we will begin with one of the headlining athletes, co-headliner of the UFC Women's Strawweight Division, the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC Strawweight Champion, Carla Esparza.
The champ is here, Carla Esparza.
$114.8. The official weight for the champion, Carla Esparza.
114.8. That's right. We've got the digital scale, so we're going granular here. We're gonna know for sure.
All right, next fighter to the
People are
scale
coming in at.
is the former UFC interim lightweight champion, currently ranked number 11 in the world, number 1 in the world. Lightweight feature bout on pay-per-view, Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Dustin Poirier.
Even. 156, the official weight for Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
156 for Dustin Poirier. 2 up, 2 down so far, people. No issues.
All right, next athlete to the scale is the athlete around whom this fight card was built, the undisputed UFC middleweight champion, the last style bender, Israel Adesanya.
I just can't say it like John Anik. I was trying to say it earlier, and I just totally miffed it.
The athlete, yeah. Oop, there we go.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
185. The official weight for the champion, Israel Adesanya.
185 on the dot for the champion, Israel Adesanya. With the digital scale,
Next
too.
fighter
That's
to the scale competing in a prelim in the UFC strawweight division, Silvana Gomez Juarez.
That scale is not easy to trick. So both champs are in. Here comes one of the preliminary fighters, Silvana Gomez Juarez.
By the way, this is my low-key banger of the night.
115.6, the official weight for Silvana Gomez Juarez.
115.6 for Silvana Gomez Juarez.
All right, next athlete to the scale competing in the UFC's bantamweight division, Montel Jackson.
Montel Jackson, Action Jackson, he is back. He's been away for a while. A lot of people always ask, where's Montel Jackson? He is competing this Saturday. Tough fight, very tough fight for him.
Wow, the box of shame coming out early.
Hey, we don't know that yet.
We don't know. It could be the box of redemption.
It is always the box of shame.
Yeah, and it is the digital scale too. So it's like, listen, he knows. He already knows. There's no messing around with it. There's no fooling it. So just go right for the box.
135.8, the official weight for Montel Jackson.
135.8. Box of redemption for Montel Jackson. Casey, you barely got to play the music.
Yeah, I know.
See, it's a good thing he brought the box out right away.
It's just, yeah, I mean, being number 5 in line, it's just a box.
Yeah.
That box was not ready to come out this early. I'm just telling you, they were not
The box
prepared.
looks a little
Yeah,
unhappy.
shaken. Yeah.
I'm not there. Jose's there, but I feel like the box is giving off a bad energy right now. Like,
Yeah.
All right, next
back up
fighter
again.
to the scale, one half the featured prelim live on ESPN News and E+ in the lightweight division, Renato Moicano.
Renato Moicano. Just keep the box out there.
Yeah, keep the box.
It's permanent. So ready.
See, now this is more like what's in the box. Like what fighter will pop out.
155.8. 155.8, the official weight for Renato Moicano.
155.8. Well, it looks like it was needed, so but he has made it. Renato Moicano, 155.8. So both him and Jackson just a couple ounces under the 3 ounces, I'd say. 3 ounces under the limit, so could have gone a lot worse. Wait, when I say ounce, no, it's not ounces.
No, it's just
It's just points, point 2, point 3.
Is the
3
former
yeah.
UFC strawweight champion and number 2 ranked contender, Magnum Zhang Weili.
Get the music ready. Get the music ready.
Is there
You
a
better
box?
beat Annex to the punch because you know he's going to say it.
A tweet ready too.
Oh, the box.
The minus 325 favorite.
I wonder if people I think the box doesn't want to be moved, Casey. The box is like, no, I'm here.
Who's in the box? Who's in the box?
Yeah, they might as well just keep it at this point.
I wonder if the box is union and they don't have like a union box guy to move it.
Oh boy.
114.8. 114.8. The official weight for Zhang Weili.
114.8. That fight is now official.
Yeah, you beat him. by like
We did
2
it.
seconds.
We did it.
No,
All you MMA sites.
I didn't feel-
You recognize that MMA Fighting reported this first before John Anik.
Breaking. That main event's now official.
Breaking.
I didn't feel good about that. We should just let John.
Oh,
He's
no.
the man. He's the man. Anyway, so yes, that fight is official. Both Carla Esparza and Zhang Weili coming in 114.8. Zhang Weili,
the box is leaving.
there goes the box. Needed the box of redemption.
Well, she got to take her pictures. It might come back.
There we go. Again, a lot of fighters not taking a chance. Again, this is the digital scale today.
To weigh in this morning, the 12th ranked UFC flyweight contender, Erin Blanchfield.
Erin Blanchfield coming up. The future champ, as many are expecting. Yes, there's no fooling. There's no fooling.
125, the official weight for Erin Blanchfield.
125 on the dot for Erin Blanchfield, as I said.
And next
possibly
athlete to the scale just so happens to be her opponent, the 15th ranked flyweight in the world, Riddell, Molly McCann.
Popular Molly McCann up next.
125.4, the official weight for Molly McCann.
125.4 for Molly McCann. That fight is also official.
All right, next fighter to the scale, weighing in for the last time as a UFC fighter, future Hall of Famer, former undisputed lightweight champion, the answer, Frankie Edgar.
Oh boy, it's getting dusty in here. Here comes Frankie Edgar.
135.6, the official weight for Frankie Edgar.
135.6 for Frankie Edgar.
You know what? He gets his own.
All right, next fighter to the scale is the number 5 ranked UFC lightweight contender, former world title challenger, Iron Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler.
The Bellator champ.
3-time.
155.8. 155.8, the official weight for Michael Chandler.
155.8 for Michael Chandler. That fight with Dustin Poirier is now official.
All right, we will stay in the lightweight division as we welcome our next fighter, the Steamroller, Matt Frivola.
Matt Frivola getting ready for a fight with Ottman Zaitar. Finally, hopefully, will actually happen this time.
This is probably the correct answer for Low-Key Banger.
154.8. 154.8, the official weight for Matt Frivola.
154.8 for Matt Frivola.
All right, next fighter to the scale is his opponent in that lightweight division, back for the first time in a long time, Ottman Zaitar.
There he is, Ottman Zaitar coming up.
If he had a mystery bag right now, that'd be awesome.
Just lean into it, right? Just lean into it. He's taking his time. Listen, it's been a while. It's been a while. He's let him enjoy this moment.
Let him enjoy disrobing in front of us.
155.6, the official weight for Ottman Zaitar.
155.6 for Ottman Zaitar.
3, 2, 1. Thank you.
We're cruising through here.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. That fight with Matt Frivola is now official.
Do I need to get Anik back on this?
I almost couldn't believe it. This fight was rebooked. That it's actually happening. Fingers crossed. Again,
Our next fighter to the scale, charged with kicking off a big night for City Kickboxing, the UFC's light heavyweight division, Carlos Ulberg.
Comes the striking specialist, Carlos Ulberg.
Strikingly handsome.
Specialist, Casey. I would say striking.
Strikingly handsome.
205.2, the official weight for Carlos Ulberg.
205.2 for Carlos Ulberg.
So apologize for the weighing quality. We just this handsomeness is just too much for the bandwidth. Right?
It is.
So It's not our fault. It is our
All right, next fighter to
fault.
weigh in this morning,
Talking
competing in
IT.
the UFC's middleweight division, he is Wellington Turman.
Wellington, we're not allowed to have Carlos Ulberg in like 1080p. He's just too. He's a little too striking.
Your monitor,
Too brilliant.
Your monitor will explode.
Yeah, and we will be demonetized, I think.
185.2. 185.2, the official weight for Wellington Turman.
185.2 for Wellington Turman. We are cruising along here, guys. Thank you, everyone, again for joining us.
To the stage, he will kick off the pay-per-view main card live on ESPN. UFC's lightweight division, Claudio Puelles.
Claudio Puelles, a man who we could be talking about a lot come Sunday morning. We make a huge statement if he can get past Dan Hooker.
155.2, the official weight for Claudio Puelles.
And no problem at the scale for Mr. Puelles, 155.2.
For the Prince of Peru.
The Prince of Peru.
Boom.
I love that.
Rhyme.
Damn, you got bars, though? This early in the morning?
You set me
Got
up
bars?
beautifully,
Next
AK.
fighter
My
to
best
weigh
friend.
in the UFC's featherweight division, Seung Choi.
Seung Woo Choi coming up. Another bang, another good fight. This is a pretty good card. It's a pretty good
All
card.
right. So we have the AK approval for this card.
Man, it's way up there.
Save the gymnastics scale, AK. Save it.
145.6. 145.6, the official weight for Seung Woo Choi.
145.6 for Seung Woo Choi.
Let's go quick.
Let's see, do we still got more?
All right, next fighter to the scale,
Yeah.
competing in the featured prelim live on ESPN News in the lightweight division, Brad Riddell.
I got here, Brad Riddell.
Go, Quake! Go, Quake! Get it, Quake! Woo!
155.6. The official weight for Brad Riddell.
155.6 for Brad Riddell. His fight with Renato Moicano is official.
And you have to hype him up. Come on, Brad. After you.
All right, next fighter to the scale, kicking off the pay-per-view main card, the lightweight division, 12th ranked, Dan Hooker.
Of course, his teammate, Dan Hooker.
There you go.
155.8, the official weight for the hangman, Dan Hooker.
155.8 for Dan Hooker. And his fight with Claudio Puelles is now official. I'm glad he's back at lightweight.
19 down.
So,
14 minutes.
looks like we've got a little bit of a pause here. As we say that, someone will come up soon, of course. But there you go, guys. You can see. Hi, everyone. We're back. Our faces are back. As you can see, that we do have this nice on-screen graphic made by the brilliant EKC Leiden. And you can, we've got most of the main card up, just waiting for a couple more, and then several preliminary fighters. No issues yet. 3 of the title fight contenders are in. The beam scale, the digital scale has not tripped anyone up. I am a little nervous for some people. We're all team beam scale here, right?
Why?
I don't want the truth. I don't want the exact truth.
Okay.
I like the eyeballing. Treat it like a regional smoker.
Wait. So you're Mr. Rules, but yet you hate the truth.
A beam scale is within the rules. I don't question the integrity of the beam scale. Some rules are open for interpretation, and that is what the beam scale allows. Treat it like a regional smoker. Just take 2 guys, you point at them like, oh, they look like they're about the same size. You guys are fighting tonight. There you go. It's a system that's worked for ages. Never gone wrong. So
I know we still have an hour
yes.
and 40 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. What if Alex Pereira can't make weight? Just
he's
put it out
huge. I mean, he's huge.
I don't
and
know
like I
if
said,
he's
we are
185.
talking digital scale. If this was Vegas, he could be up there around like 155.3. And the Vegas scale guy is gonna go like, yeah, close enough. Boom, hit the thing. We got a title fight tomorrow. Digital scale does not play favorites. The digital scale does not care if you are in a title fight. It does not care if you're Israel Adesanya or Carla Esparza or Alex Pereira or Zhang Weili. You got to make that weight. I don't, Mike. There we go.
Up.
Competing live on pay-per-view here Saturday night, UFC's bantamweight division, El Guapo,
Chris Gutierrez, possibly playing the heel on Saturday, though he does fight out of New Jersey, so I don't know how much. If you really think that many cheers, but
What do you mean he's playing the hill?
He does?
What did he say?
Does he not?
No.
Does he not? He said on. I saw him on. What did he say? He said he has New Jersey roots.
He was born in Boston. He grew up in Greenville, Texas, and he trained in Colorado.
He was saying that he has New Jersey roots.
Maybe he's got
one job, AK. You got one job.
Maybe he's got family.
Frankie Edgar is now official. 136, Chris Gutierrez.
He fully expects to be the villain, to be booed out of the building, and he told me that he's excited for that. Thinks it'll help fuel his fire.
Also, apparently there's
I as a fighter ever said, "Oh, that's gonna be horrible. I don't want that. I might lose."
oh, they're gonna boo me. Oh, hold on. How do I get out of this? Hold on. I gotta call my manager real quick. Whoa.
Hey, listen. I mean, you gotta from like just a different perspective. This is his first time getting like a ranked guy with a name. It's his first time on a numbered pay-per-view that's not at the Apex. It's his first time fighting at MSG, and he gets Frankie Edgar in his final fight ever. It's an interesting spot to be in.
And that should be his story. It's like, man, there's gonna be a lot of crazy things I've never experienced. So let's see what happens. It's like I'm looking.
Yeah, I talked to him, and his exact quote to me was, "I will have no remorse sending him on his way with an ass whooping." Was his, and he means it. There's no nerves. It's just full on excitement for this guy. So
Mike Heck, my best friend.
They all got nerves.
My best friend, according to UFC.com, which is never wrong about anything, his hometown at Jersey City, United States. So I don't know. You've interviewed him. I haven't. I'm just saying. But UFC.com, the arbiter of truth in our society, says Jersey City.
I mean,
I don't know where or when that was.
I've interviewed him maybe 50 times. He's never mentioned Jersey once.
He did say it immediately.
Maybe there's a reason.
Maybe he had a cup of coffee. Maybe there's a cup of coffee in Jersey. Maybe.
Mike, to be fair, if I was from New Jersey, I wouldn't bring that.
Yeah, a lot of people overlook.
Low hanging fruit, Jose. Yeah. Low hanging fruit. We were all thinking it. You didn't.
Yeah, we were thinking.
I thought that was stating the obvious.
You didn't have to say. He did mention it. I only say it because he did mention it media day, something about being
also,
very
I
passingly.
I don't know if you guys like saw it, but at the weigh-ins when they were jawing, apparently there's issue between Chris Gutierrez and Frankie Edgar, an incident from like 9 years ago at a Renato fight. Frankie has absolutely no recollection of what he's talking about. Chris Gutierrez is like, I never forgot, and Frankie's like, I have literally no idea what you're talking about.
I don't. Okay. Sorry, Jose. Jose, your audio's coming in a little low, but for anyone who couldn't make that out,
I can't get your audio low, Jose, because everything else in the background is really tingy.
Yeah,
it's really, so I gotta keep it pretty low.
Is it? Am I better right now? Better right now.
Yeah, it's
much
better.
better.
Yeah, when you're talking.
Yeah. Sorry, I have 2 headphones in because I'm also editing. So one headphone is for editing video, the other headphone is for talking to you. So when I take one out.
Jose was saying earlier, you were just saying that there is some beef, according to Chris Gutierrez, a 9-year-old beef with Frankie Edgar that apparently Frankie Edgar has no recollection of, some sort of run-in at a show. That's
really stretching it. Like Chris Gutierrez.
I think it's a bit of a, I don't think it's an intentional diss, but that is kind of a diss where it's like, Frankie Edgar's kind of on this level as far as how many people he's, his experiences, how many people he's met and knows in life, and it's almost like he was a pro wrestling promo.
What's his diss? What did he say? He just
Jose, did they say what the beef was?
Nope.
Okay.
Listen, I only learned this from John Anik because obviously.
From John Anik. Okay.
Obviously, you 3 watched the day 2 media day on MMAfighting.com's YouTube
of course.
channel. If you obviously watch John Anik's from, I asked him about Frankie Edgar, and he's like, up on the stage they were John, and so John Anik is the one that pulled the curtain back on this random issue between.
What a scoop! Fight Circus intro voiceover guy, John Anik. Man, did you guys see that?
Yeah,
that was incredible.
He's the best of the business.
That was so
Another
good.
kind of wrinkle to this fight is that I don't know if you guys saw this on social media, but Chris Gutierrez, he can fight out of Jersey or wherever, but he trains in Denver. He trains at Factory X.
Factory X, yeah.
So Mark Montoya is obviously his head coach. Mark Montoya is probably not going to be in his corner because he was hospitalized with like kidney issues, and then when they scoped him and they like searched through, they found out that he had cancer.
Holy crap! Okay, well, we hope Mark Montoya is okay.
But I guess like once like the procedure like goes through and the fluids leave his kidneys, it'll be easy to get. So, but yeah, he posted it on Instagram yesterday, I think. So Mark Montoya probably won't be in Chris's corner, and I know Mark has had such a huge influence on Chris and like helping him turn his life around and everything going on. So I wonder what kind of factor that's going to play in this.
Of course, yeah. So,
that's wild.
A lot of fighters have spoken about how Mark Montoya has he's turned quite a few fighters' careers around. He's a great coach. So hopefully you're right, Mike, and that as everything goes as the procedure goes as planned, as scheduled, and everything's okay with Mark. But, definitely nothing to mess with. And it'd be interesting to see if that does affect. How can it not be on Chris Gutierrez's mind, right? So.
Yeah. So the exact post was he went to the hospital with a staph infection, and he walked into the hospital with kidney failure because of the infection. So they had to do surgery to like remove the infection, and then they said, however, while here, they also found I have cancer in my right kidney. The silver lining to all of this is the infection brought me here. Otherwise, I would have never known about the cancer. The cancer seems contained to the kidney, and I'll soon get it removed once the infection dies down. Imagine that. You just like, I have staph infection. I'll just go and get this treated. And then you find out all this other stuff's happening. That's wild.
But he has the right perspective on it, right? It's like they would, who knows how long it would have gone undetected if he hadn't gone in. So in a weird way, a kind of a blessing, I suppose, that they discovered it, even though he had to go in for an infection. And
that's what they say. Boy. Staph infections work in mysterious ways.
Oh, you're in the fight business now, Casey. I mean, you've always been in the fight business. You are a fighter now. Mm-hmm. So you've got a firsthand account of that kind of homespun wisdom.
Worrying about staph infections, yes.
Worrying about staph infections, and hopefully nothing more than that. But I guess in Mark's case, again, a little more to worry about. But we're all hoping the best for him and everyone that's affects. So, okay, Mike. I don't know if we want to do a classic Mike Heck rundown. I guess we're almost 30 minutes.
Can I?
Yeah. Please.
We have lots of time.
Plenty.
I love comments like this.
Adam Badali says, Izzy always says he wants to knock out his opponent, and then he spends the entire fight using footwork to get leg kick points. Casey, why do you love a comment like this so much?
I've seen this criticism so many times of Izzy. Like, well, Izzy said he was going to knock him out, and then he didn't knock him out. He only won a dominant decision, so he sucks. Mm-hmm. I just love that. Like, as if every single fighter on this card hasn't already guaranteed a victory. And like for some reason, like we always go I see this so many times with fans, like, well, he told us he was gonna knock him out. Like Charles Oliveira said he was gonna murder Islam and he didn't. So he's like, it's just the weirdest thing.
Islam Makhachev is still alive. It's still alive. So what's up? What's up, Charles?
I can't trust Charles Oliveira now. He lied to me. He said he was gonna kill the man. I don't know. Do you see that running narrative a lot with Izzy? I've seen it a couple of times. It just popped up. I was like, that's just the weirdest critique I've ever seen of a super high level champ. It's like he promised he would knock. He would promise he would murder him.
I don't care about that in sports in general. Like I don't like when people go like, oh, why did they guarantee a win in the next game and then lose? I'm like, what are they supposed to say? I think Chris Paul. If you look, Chris Paul had one of the good ones. Someone was like, what's going to happen if you lose tomorrow? It was like an elimination game, and he's like, well, I think we're going to win. I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, what the hell kind of question is that? Like, yeah, I think we're going to lose and just go home. Yeah, season's over.
What happens if you break both your legs tomorrow? It's like, I don't. That would suck. Yeah. I guess.
I get where the criticism comes from. I know they feel like he's under delivering, but it's like every fighter says, I'm going to knock the other person out. I'm going to win a dominant decision. I'm going to kick this person's ass. It's like he's at the top. Sure, he gets more flack for it. Totally understandable. I get it. But like, yeah, the fact that people seem so offended.
Like they're offended. You see this all the time. I'm offended.
They'd rather he be honest about it. He'd rather be honest. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go in there and point fight, and I'm going to walk out with the belt.
He doesn't point fight.
Yeah,
he doesn't point
fight. I know, but that's what people want to hear.
Wait, did Jared Cannonier say, like, never mind. I'm sorry.
Jared Cannonier said he was going to be aggressive and get after him. And if he had done that, Izzy would have fought differently. But he didn't do that. So he gave Izzy a win. He handed Izzy a win by fighting the way he fought. What's he supposed to do? Say no? Nah, I'm not going to take the win because you're putting me in range to just kick you and outstrike you and win the fight. Like, what? It's so dumb. I hate that take.
This is a boring conversation.
Oh, bring up something more exciting. Let's talk about something more exciting.
The call out of that.
Okay.
Normally we get that from the YouTube commenters, but we can talk
about the new Drake album. We talk about whatever.
Let's talk about a fight that hasn't happened yet. Erin and Molly talk about it.
I'll tell you something. Nothing says quality broadcast. Nothing says quality broadcast like one of the guys on the air saying this show sucks.
Yeah.
Thank you for the call. Mike, what do you want to say about Erin and Molly McCann?
Yeah.
Outside of
to the scale, competing in a middleweight prelim live on ESPN News, Andre Petroski.
Andre, we'll get back to that. We got Andre Petroski coming up.
185.8. The official weight for Philadelphia is Andre Petroski.
Andre Petroski, 185.8. His fight with Wellington Turman is now official. Petroski, by the way, guys, 3-0 in the UFC. He's looked very good. He looks like one of the brightest prospects at 185. Mike, Erin Blanchfield, Molly McCann.
Outside of the main event, this is the best match. Like, I mean, obviously Poirier Chandler is a great fight, but in terms of just pure matchmaking, I think this is the best matchmaking on the card, just for like what it is. This is a win-win for the UFC. Because if Erin Blanchfield beats Molly McCann, who is red hot right now, that gets her a big win, gets her a little bit of a rub, and she'll get to do it at MSG, close to home. Not saying that McCann's going to have a big following, too. And if Molly beats Erin Blanchfield, huge year for her, especially if she finishes her. She's knocking on the door of, like, not just UK stardom, like MMA stardom. And you could do a lot with her. She immediately becomes a title contender. If she beats Erin Blanchfield, the UFC could throw her into a title fight with Valentina right now, and it would make sense. Because she's got nobody. So you do that in London, like you do that in the UK. Molly just gets over huge because it's a signature win, and if Erin beats Molly, she gets over. Erin winning doesn't really stunt Molly that much because you can just bring her right back to the UK, and she could still be a massive star and still get that big, huge reaction from the crowd.
I think it stunts.
And if Erin loses, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world if Erin loses.
My best friend, as always, Casey, I agree with Mike. Mike, you are 100%, I think, on point with this. Of course, a loss hurts anyone. Of course, obviously, a loss will hurt Molly McCann, some for Steve.
Long term is what I'm saying.
Yeah, long. But like you said, Mike, she could lose this fight. She could lose another fight, and then as long as they go back to London next year, she's a superstar. She's a superstar in London. She has that kind of. She's got that base there, and if you're lucky enough to have that base, again, you can afford to take losses here and there, especially to a blue chipper like Erin Blanchfield. If Erin loses, I don't think it's a big deal either. Because, like, again, I keep telling people she's only 23. I know everyone is so blown away by how poised she's looked in the UFC and Invicta. She's looked amazing. She's looked she's lived up to the hype and then some. But again, it's also she's fighting someone who I think is like legitimate. I know there's some critics of Molly out there thinks maybe she's gotten some favorable opposition. So she's fighting at home. Yeah. But I do think like she's been in sort of scrapes that like Erin Blanchfield just hasn't been in yet. And I want to see where that goes. But yeah, I'm with Mike. I think it's great matchmaking. Yeah. I think it's a good move for either fighter. Yeah.
Molly's the biggest underdog on the card. She's the biggest dog on the entire fight card. So
more than Esparza?
Most people. Yeah, she's
Esparza's not that.
It's
not as big of a dog as you. Jed wrote about this. He said he thought like Zhang Weili would be like a minus 700 favorite or something.
Well,
and
yeah,
Zhang's minus 325.
Tapology, she is. Tapology,
Yeah.
only 8. She's the Tapology. She's by far the biggest underdog on the card, by far.
92%.
Yeah,
Picking
I thought
Carla's-
actually McCann was gonna be
Goodness,
the biggest underdog, but
Oh, wow.
26% of
Not even
people picking
close.
her.
Yeah. Not even
But,
close.
Plus
no,
270 for Carla, plus 320 for Molly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's expected to lose. Like, she's expected to
Yeah.
lose. No one's like, the betting community is not expecting her to win. Most people aren't expecting her to win.
Yeah.
She has a lot of fans who are going to be rooting for her to win. But most people who break this fight down don't see a lot of paths to victory for Molly. But again, what you said, AK, the one thing that really stands out to me is Molly's been in these spots before. Being in front of a big ruckus crowd and being part of big events, like Molly's been there and done that. Erin hasn't done that. This is an experience thing. So we'll see what happens. This could be a massive moment for Erin Blanchfield. Could be a massive moment for Molly McCann. I think a loss obviously hurts Molly more than anything, just because of if we're talking title hopes.
269?
Yeah, but this is
269 that
What?
yeah, she did. Yeah, she was a prelim fight at 269, but this is Madison Square Garden. This is Molly McCann. This is a different thing altogether. It's a different thing.
Is it the feature? It's not the main event prelim, right?
No.
Okay.
It's
Riddell and
Riddell.
yeah, it's the
Yeah,
second.
that's
It's the
that's a
it's the
good.
second prelim fight on ESPN.
Yeah, I'm
News.
kind of bummed. I'm kind of bummed they put it so far down the card because of the importance of that fight to the flyweight division.
I agree. I don't. Yeah, and especially considering Molly is a bit of a name now. Molly McCann.
You know who's not disappointed?
Or-
Both
Molly
men
McCann.
and women are like, no, we don't want to be high.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Both
Molly McCann's supposed to party,
they're
man.
like, no, we want to be low. 'cause
No,
they can go
but
on.
More
every single
eyeballs.
fighter says that. And no
I
fighter
know.
goes like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm like no, I don't."
Yeah,
Every
but
fighter
I believe
says
her.
that. I love
believe
it. I
her.
love where I'm loving the first fight. It's awesome in the first fight. Then I get
Well,
more.
I definitely believe Molly.
Yeah, I believe both of them. Again, I think Molly and I think Erin would both be like, obviously, if they're on the main card, they'd be happy with that too. But it's like, what can you do? Yeah, I think there's no point in complaining about like, oh well, Aljamain Sterling complained for years and never got bumped up the card. So, yeah, you just make the most of it. Like I said, you get to.
So
be
we're
the
just
first one
saying,
back.
wherever you're at the card, just tell the media you like it.
No, I mean you can complain if you want. It's just one, what's it going to do, and two, if you have what's wrong with having the right attitude about it?
My thought is, I'm not going to complain about something if both women are complaining because they don't really seem to care.
I'm
I
complaining
get
about
it.
it because
It's a great
of the
spot to
importance
be.
to the division, and that's how a fight should be ordered. I like it. And I wanted this fight to be more featured.
Where would you
That's
put
how,
it?
that's how good. I'll put it as the featured.
Who would you take
the
now?
main event prelim?
So bump
over-
up,
over
bump
Riddell and
down,
Moicano?
yeah, bump down,
Yeah, Moicano Riddell doesn't really have any
I think-
title significance.
I think no, but I think that, they're using it as the classic like exciting fight to last push to get people to buy the pay per view. There is the possibility of the McCann Blanchfield fight. Obviously, Blanchfield the superior grappler, maybe just out wrestles her for 3 rounds, and it's not it's not a super fan friendly fight, right? That I understand the thinking there.
Well, yeah, Carla Esparza is the top of the card, so she can win. I mean, it's not gonna be
She
exciting.
has a title.
but
She has a
yeah,
title.
well,
When Erin
you don't
Blanchfield has a
have to put
title,
titles up there.
yes, you do. When Erin Blanchfield
No,
has a
they
title,
don't.
she can be up high on the card. I mean, you could say they don't, but now we're just being unreasonable. Now I don't know what you're arguing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm
now
saying,
you're
like,
saying,
it's an
title
important-
fights
it's
shouldn't be
important
high.
We're talking
Should be
about the
higher in
sake
the
of the
card.
division, but a title fight
It's
can't
an important
be
fight. It should be high in the card. More people are interested in Poirier Chandler.
That doesn't matter. It's not traditionally, we know that outside of Conor McGregor and some other exceptions, we know that the UFC always puts.
I
the
want
title
that fight
fights
higher
other
in the
ones.
card because it's
Okay,
such a good
you're-
fight. But
That's-
if Erin
I
Blanchfield
know,
and
it's
Molly
still a great
McCann
fight.
want to be in the bottom of the card, then that's on them.
It's not even the bottom. It's on the ESPN
Featured. I
News.
want to be.
My next fighter
That's
to
the most
the
hot.
scale, competing in the UFC Women's Strawweight Division, former world
Stop.
title challenger Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
Karolina Kowalkiewicz. If I'm not mistaken, was on the first Madison Square Garden card, right? Her and Joanna, right? Yeah, a lot of hype around that. I remember that.
I think that's Karolina.
Watch the cameras, guys.
This fight's gonna be a banger.
115.6, the official weight for Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
115.6 for Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and her fight with Silvana Gomez Juarez. It's not official. Oh, my audio went out there for a second. I almost missed it.
I dig
Okay,
this
good.
matchup. I like this matchup.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a
smart
good
one.
matchup.
It's a smart one. I think we're all a bit happy for Karolina to get that win. Snap like a 4-year winless streak. Oddly against the same woman she beat in the fight, that before the streak started. Hey, that's MMA. It's funny. And MMA is kind of quirky and funny like that, right? So, I want to talk about the main event, but I'm just getting a little. Casey, you mentioned earlier. Alex Pereira. It's not an easy weight cut for him.
Not an easy weight cut.
He's
He's got to
massive.
do a lot. He's got to do a lot of extra media this week.
Yes,
We talk about people who haven't seen this type of high pressure. Pereira has had big fights in Glory, but Glory doesn't fill out Madison Square Garden. So this is. We talk about a whole different. Talking about Erin Blanchfield, never having this type of shine on her. Same Vax Pereira. So we're gonna really see. First, he has to make weight. This whole week's been probably very different for him than any other fight week.
We have said, as far as we know, there's no backup, right? There's no backup.
Well, the backup would be a title fight.
Oh yeah, you can just bump up the title fight. But Izzy would just not. If they want to keep Izzy on the card, I guess that would.
They want to take Izzy off the card. If Pereira doesn't make weight, you still fight if you don't make weight, as long as the doctors approve it.
Well, that's my worry though, is that it's not approved. I'm just calling a worst case scenario here, because that's what I do.
We're so far away from even getting worried right now.
This is true. We have like 80 minutes left. I think, Mike, we can do one of your classic rain dance rundowns.
Okay. All right. UFC 281 going down tomorrow. It's finally here. There we go. Here's what we got so far. Israel Adesanya, good to go for the main event. Weighted at 185 on the nose. Still waiting on Alex Pereira. Carla Esparza, Zhang Weili, good to go for their co-main event for the strawweight title. Both weighing in at 114.8. Dustin Poirier, 156. Takes on Michael Chandler, weighted at 155.8. Frankie Edgar's final weigh-in, 135.6. He'll take on Chris Gutierrez. Successfully made weight at 136. Dan Hooker, 155.8. Takes on the surging Claudio Puelles, who weighted at 155.2. Featured prelim, Renato Moicano, 155.8. Takes on Brad Riddell, 155.6. Dominick Reyes and Ryan Spann will meet right before that. Neither have touched the scale just yet. Erin Blanchfield, good to go, 125, taking on Molly McCann, who weighed in at 125.4. Andre Petroski, Wellington Turman, good to go. Petroski at 185.8. Wellington Turman, 185.2. Atmana Zaitar, back, weighed in at 155.6, taking on the newly re-signed Matt Frivola, 154.8. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, 115.6, takes on Silvana Gomez Juarez, weighted at 115.6. Mike Trizano, still waiting on him. He will take on Seung Choi, weighted at 145.6. Still waiting Julio Arce. This is a big weight cut for him. He will take on the returning Montel Quick Jackson, who weighed in at 135.8. First team all handsome, Carlos Ulberg, 205.2. He will take on Nikolai Negumereanu, who we are still waiting upon. Back to you guys.
So good. So good. People, that was the voice of Heck of a Morning. Mike Heck, you were blessed with one of his classic rundowns. Shockingly, did not shake the tree loose. I thought someone, normally when we try to do it the first time, someone will interrupt you. I'm like, okay, good, we got the weigh-ins going again. But again, we don't have that many names left, as you just read for everyone. What was the? I had a thought. It's gone out of my head now. Great, fantastic stuff. Okay. Alex Pereira. I see a lot of people worrying in the comments. Oh, I want to mention the results of the poll so far. How many titles change hands? UFC 281 so far. Just one is leading at 48%, but a lot of people thinking both. We see two new changes, 38%. So, wow. Only 14% saying zero. I imagine and honestly, the one I was going to say, I imagine most people are assuming it's Carla and not Izzy, but we have so much interest. I think they've built this. We criticized the UFC's promoting a lot and some of their matchmaking. Listen, I know we can't say it enough, but they could not have done a better job of setting up the Pereira, Israel Adesanya trilogy. They nailed it.
It's interesting how they set it up, but it's also interesting that I think we had like 15 fighters do their kind of pros predict. Outside of fighters that literally train with Alex Pereira, every single person picked Izzy. But,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's fine. I do think though.
I was like, we're super hyped for this fight, but yet fighters wise are like, well, I mean, yeah, it should be a good fight, but yeah, Izzy.
You'd also have to say like how many people do think it's gonna like if they the consensus is that it will be a good fight. It's a good style matchup. Just because so many people are picking.
I say this a good style matchup. I heard like a lot of like, well, we might get a really technical fight from Israel because I mean now he has the big cage, small gloves. It's like his footwork is like this actually is laid out much better for him to kind of fight his style fight. So it could definitely be that not the fan friendly fight. They want to brawl. Like no one predicted a brawl still.
Yeah, but I think what I mean is like most people aren't predicting like, oh, Izzy's gonna kill Alex Pereira. Like I haven't seen a lot of that. Even if they're picking Izzy, I haven't seen too much like, oh, Izzy's gonna dominate him. Like I think this is what it should be on paper. Like yeah, even if the champion wins, like there's intrigue there. I say this a lot of time with robbery reviews when people show like, 18 out of 20 media members picked this fight for this one fighter, and it's like, yeah, if you look at their individual comments though, they said, oh, it was close. It could have gone either way. So. Yeah, I mean the picks may be overwhelming in one direction, but like I think the individual thoughts are pretty respectful of the matchup. I could be wrong. I mean, I haven't listened closely to everyone's predictions, but that's my feel for it. But Mike, you agree with me, right? This is how you build up this is how you fast track someone to a title shot, right?
They did it perfectly. I mean, this is a grand slam home run the way that they set this all up. And this is one of those fights that I feel. It is super fun. I mean, it's not necessary, but kind of imperative that you find like a good positive community to watch the fights with. You know what I mean? Like you want to watch the fights with people who are excited about it, and you want to just, where the energy is just infectious, right? Like that's what we want for a big fight like this. So what I would recommend is tomorrow, as this fight's going on, you tune in to this YouTube channel because it's going to be happening. You could watch the fight with me and GC live in studio. Like you can't come to the studio, but you could watch us in the studio and we're going to react to all of this together. So, and not only that fight, AK, you could watch all of the main card fights with all of us. Like we're just going to react. There's going to be some special guests coming on. You already know one, Jed Meshew. Think about this. I'm drama personified. Jed Meshew is going to be on from Michael Chandler, his favorite fighter, taking on Dustin Poirier. But not only that, if you have listened to No Bets Barred, Jed Meshew has only done this one other time, and he's doing it again. He's going all in, all of his bankroll on Zhang Weili. Last time he did this was he put all of his bankroll on Valentina Shevchenko against Tyler Santos, and he sweat that bad boy out. And the tough part about that is we only got his description of it. We couldn't actually see him sweat. But now you get to see him sweat because he's going to be on with us. So he's all in on Zhang Weili. And if Carla Esparza starts landing takedowns and winning rounds, Jed Meshew is just going to be a sweaty mess. And it's going to be so fun. And I believe Connor has a lot of action on Zhang Weili too. So we're going to see two dudes just sitting there freaking out, biting their fingernails, hoping that their bets cash. And you could experience all of this drama tomorrow with us right here on this channel. It's gonna be a great time. But as far as the fight goes, I have so many questions. I have no idea how this fight's gonna go. I literally don't know. Like my gut is telling me Adesanya is gonna win, but you're giving Pereira 25 minutes to land a shot, and I believe this is Julio Arce. We have no sound, so I don't know.
Wait for Julio Arce.
We'll have to wait for you guys in a second, but it looks Julio Arce looks happy. Mike, Casey, I'm gonna say it. That fight with Montel Jackson is official.
I need to wait.
Just kidding. You're such a stick. You're such a perfectionist.
I mean, that wasn't a dance of that was a dance of joy,
that was
not a
135.8, Casey. 135.8. That fight is official.
Do you see a number there yet?
Listen, get that number in there and play the damn music.
We have a system. Okay.
You're right. Hashtag rules rule. You're not wrong, sir. You're not wrong. Mike, I completely blanked out there. The watch party. Amazing promo for the watch party. Connor Burks, the star of the Today Show, will be there. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, check out Ariel's.
Did he get on air?
He's like way in the back, like peeking his head over, but you can see him as clear as day. Like it's not like it's a blurry shot of like it's clearly him. It's clearly him. So
his brother playing the clarinet on national TV. Is that what it was?
Yeah. He got in there.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Yes,
I've been in
and
New
Jed
York for
Meshew.
4 days, and I still haven't met Connor Burke.
Oh, I can't wait till you get the chance. He's like a swell man.
Good dude. Maybe I'll see if he wants to grab breakfast with us tomorrow, Jose.
Ooh. I wanted to say, why do I keep? Oh yes, Jed Meshew. Yes.
Me and Eric should call into the watch along thing at least once.
Do it
on site.
Yes,
dude, please.
Oh my gosh, Jose Youngs and New York Rick and Jed Meshew.
When I was in Abu Dhabi, I'm like, I should probably call into this since I'm actually here.
We would love that.
That was also one of the most chaotic backstage I've ever felt.
All right, we cannot promise Jose Youngs will be on the watch party, but just know that little extra tease for you guys. You never know. He might call in. We're just saying. You don't know what's going to happen with the watch party. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. That's the only. Yeah, that's the only guarantee.
It will be fun, but
you know what's going to happen?
Go ahead.
You're going to hear my music, and I'm going to kick the door and take the microphone and be like, this is mine now.
Jed Meshew, as we said,
who needs it? And then I'm just going to do a whole replay of, I don't know, what's a random fighter I can pick? Nope, not Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler. This is going to be 24 hours of George Roop highlights. And then that's
this guy's got quite a reel too. That's
wow.
We have to loop a few, but I mean that's pretty good.
Outstanding.
You got a single reel for sure.
I love the fact that the Jed Meshew all in on Zhang Weili, because you're right, Mike. If Carla Esparza wins this fight, it will be in the most grueling, torturous way possible for anyone that has put a substantial amount of money. She's not submitting Zhang. Like, it's not going to be like a quick cut the head off. She like submits Zhang or wins by TKO in the first round. I don't think so anyway. It's going to be 5 rounds of wrestling and Jed Meshew's soul eroding on the inside.
Esparza? Oh, no, you don't think if Esparza wins, she can win in a kind of dominant way? She beat Jan.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you bet
that was
on
what, 2 rounds, what?
If you I don't know if she can finish. Maybe later, maybe 4th or 5th round. I can't imagine putting her away in the first 3 rounds.
Well, so you think it'll be excruciating for people that put money on Weili?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly. That put money on Zhang.
Well, yeah, that's
specifically for Jed.
Specifically for Jed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and Mike said, as soon as a few early takedowns land, Jed is just going to be done. I think like the first round he'll be okay. He'll be like, it's okay. I expected this. She'll get tired, but then if it keeps going round 2, round 3, into round 4, Jed's he might just leave. He might start making some calls because I think he has said, I can't remember his exact quote in the gambling preview. I don't know if it's out yet, but he's like he might have to go back to Wall Street. Let's put it that way. Blogging and being an MMA pundit might not pay the bills after he falls in the hole if Zhang Weili loses. So I'm with him.
Did you guys know that he picked Juliana Pena to beat Amanda Nunes? I don't know if you're aware.
He never mentions it.
Yeah.
He never. I don't know how you heard that. He's never mentioned that before.
I feel like he would mention that a lot.
That's right. Jed has been riding the Pena.
He also said put all your money on plus 200 Anderson Silva too. So.
Wow.
It's been a rough time. Listen, no bets barred, a great program. Jed Meshew, I feel a great handicapper. So.
Did he actually put money on Pena, or did he just say, I think he's gonna win?
I assume he did. But more so, he definitely did, and he also, I know,
because of the line, yeah,
really put his reputation on there. And
yeah, second time around, he didn't. He put it on. Nunes.
Yeah.
Casey, we did a little story before, a little roundup this past week, sort of some biggest storylines from the card. One of them is Carla. Do you feel like Carla's a little disrespected? I mean, either odds-wise, reputation-wise. People talking crap.
You can't disrespect anyone odds-wise. That doesn't make sense. But what do you mean?
Sure you can.
If you're putting,
I don't think she's disrespected odds-wise.
The odds makers, Casey.
No, not at all.
Okay.
But what do you mean disrespected? Like the fan, like,
As
what do
in,
you mean?
if she's like, do you think it's fair that she's a plus 270 underdog or whatever?
Okay, well, tell me, is this disrespectful to Carla Esparza? I think she's a borderline UFC Hall of Famer.
Ooh.
She's probably one of the most underrated. She's probably the most underrated strawweight ever. The fact that she's gone 10 plus years, maybe I don't know, 10. I'm just gonna say 10 years, maybe not quite that long, but has at worst a top 5 ranked strawweight for the last 10 years. I can't think of there hasn't been one woman of that kind of longevity in the any female division. None. Name a woman that's been a top 5 fighter for the last 10 years. Not Nunes. She hasn't been. Not Rousey. Not anyone else.
What are you saying? Say it again.
Would have been
Carla
Joanna.
Esparza.
It would have been
You know what happens if she
Joanna
wins?
before she
Joanna,
retired.
no, not even Joanna. Joanna, her run
Carla wins
was shorter than that. Carla Esparza has a top 5 fighter has been longer than anyone, and I think she's just incredibly.
I mean,
underrated.
I get what you're saying. There wasn't much
Incredibly
of a
underrated,
division
but
back
I
then,
also
but I get what
think
you're saying.
Weili is going to demolish Carla Esparza, just demolish her, and Carla Esparza to me, I can't think of a champion that in my mind I'm so confident she will lose. So I mean,
A lot of people are pretty confident Dustin Poirier was going to beat Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
No, but there were paths to victory for Charles Oliveira, but and
Carlos-
who was the
I
champion?
mean,
at the
Carlos
time?
got a
people
path
thought
to
Amanda
victory.
Nunes was gonna beat
I'm talking about
Joanna.
and as a champion, I can't think of a was Dustin the champion at the time when Charles won? I can't remember.
No.
Yeah, what I'm talking
no,
about.
Charles was
Carla
the
is like
champion.
the coming in champ. Maybe outside of GSP,
I
Sarah
would
too.
assume. I mean, what about like Amanda Juliana? I think a lot of people thought Amanda
That's
was
another
going
one.
to smush
The
her
rematch.
the first time.
What was the line on
first
that? What was the line on that?
I'll pull
That's
it
a
up.
good question.
That's what I think. I mean,
You
I
know,
think
if Carla wins on, if Carla wins,
I
on
guarantee
Saturday,
you.
it's the
I
most
guarantee you,
strawweight
Pena was.
history.
I mean, Pena's was probably a bigger underdog. Would be my guess. I mean,
I
could be wrong.
think so as well, and I think you're right.
and I mean, I don't want to add too many like asterisks and stuff, but I'm talking about
she
like
closed at
as a
plus 200.
Oh, really? Only? Oh, wow.
that's what I mean. Like I only plus 200. What is Carla?
First one she closed at.
What about?
plus
I know the fight never
276.
happened. I know
Plus
I know the fight
700
never
she
happened, but
closed.
I would assume
first
Nico
one.
and Valentina was pretty egregious.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Oh, man.
That fight never happened.
Someone just said that in the comments, by the way. Andy McCarron, literally as Jose made that comment, just brought up Nico and Valentina. So
That fight never happened. And I have a hard time counting Montano as a champion because she won an off a reality show. I just kind of hate how that happens.
Sure. It's legitimate, but it has to be.
it's legitimate,
the
but-
context of it has to be discussed, of course.
Yeah.
Because Carla.
So do you-
Carla
Carla did.
I was gonna say
Yeah, I
technically,
was going to ask you that.
And
But-
Carla's first title fight, people didn't really think of it until she fought
Yeah.
Joanna.
Yeah.
My next fighter to the scale competing in the UFC's light heavyweight division, former world title challenger, the 7th ranked contender, the devastator Dominick Reyes.
Oh, he is back. Dominick Reyes is back, everyone.
The man with the most pressure on the card, maybe
As a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure.
outside of the actual champions, maybe.
Goodness me, yeah.
205.4, the official weight for Dominick Reyes.
205.4 for Dominick Reyes. We are still waiting on his opponent, Superman Ryan Spann. First fight for Dominick Reyes since May 1st, 2021, 560 days. So if in your mind you're feeling like, wow, has it been that long since we've seen Dominick Reyes? Yes, yes it has. And it's been a long time since he's got a win. His last win, Chris Weidman, October 2019. We are over 3 years since his last win. A man, and then he, in the minds of several, beat John Jones in his next fight. But not
I watched the
officially.
fight three times. Every time I have Reyes, every single time. That fight still mystifies me how it went for Jones. But
people know I do the robbery reviews, and I'm a stickler. It's probably 1 out of 5 I'd maybe call a robbery. I should say 4 out of 5 I usually say is not a robbery. That is one of the few. So if anyone wants to see me call a fight
you have a robbery. Oh, okay.
That fight is a robbery. I'm really not sure how John Jones won that one. And not to say it wasn't a competitive fight, but that to me is an example of a competitive fight where so clearly Reyes won 3 of the 5 rounds, excuse me. So robbery review, Reyes, Jones. You guys can see a rare call of robbery from me. I thought that was pretty bad. So we got people in the comments defending. Well, hey, listen.
So AK, am I
Mhm.
disrespectful to the champ Carla Esparza?
By saying,
Well, you said people are being disrespectful, but
Yeah.
outside of the booze, I think that was kind of disrespectful. But
Yeah.
I was like, damn. But
I don't think you're being
as far as
disrespectful.
betting lines and people picking, I don't see any disrespect. Honestly, Weili is a former champ, and she hasn't left that top 3 or 4 in a while. So
she's just a bad matchup for Carla. Like,
Horrible
unless Carla,
matchup.
like, there's
Horrible
something about
matchup.
Carla we don't know. This is a really bad matchup for her. She doesn't do, like, when she fights like super athletes who are incredibly strong, it doesn't typically go well for her. And I do think Carla can win, though. Like, I'm not
absolutely
completely counting her out, but how Carla needs to win is she needs to win one of the first 2 rounds, and she needs to extend this fight into the championship. Like, I don't think she finishes Zhang, but if Carla can win a round early and then just out cardio her down the stretch and just survive, and maybe Zhang gets tired, like, she's got a chance if she can land some late takedowns. But one of the things that people keep bringing up is, well, I mean, Rose took her down and there's nothing she could do. Yeah, but she didn't expect Rose to take her down. Zhang Weili is fully expecting Carla Esparza to shoot takedowns for 25 minutes. She wasn't expecting Rose to shoot takedowns. And I still, like, even going back, I haven't watched it a second time, but Casey, I think you were with me. The second fight between Zhang and Rose, I thought Zhang won that fight watching live. I haven't gone back and watched it.
It was a crazy competitive fight, but I thought I had Zhang winning the second fight too with Rose. Yeah. That means Zhang to me, I'm pretty sure I have her ranked as the best strawweight in the world right now. I might be the only person that does.
I have to check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have Zhang ranked as the best strawweight right now.
So let me ask you this, because this is a point Jed brought up. If Joanna didn't retire, like, let's just say after Zhang knocked Joanna out, let's just say something happened and they put Joanna in this title fight against Carla Esparza, and they gave Joanna like a regular training camp. Mm-hmm. Casey, would you pick Carla to beat Joanna?
No.
AK, would you pick Carla to beat Joanna?
Would I pick Carla to beat Joanna? No, I would not. I would pick Joanna.
And that's one of the issues, because I feel like just. I mean, I know MMA math doesn't always line up, but it's not that. It's just Joanna is just a really great athlete with power and strength, and she uses it so well in her fights. And this is the difference. It's just such a difference maker. Jed says it all the time. Like, athleticism can be a cheat code in MMA, and Zhang is just a super athlete. I mean, this woman is just willy nilly hoisting Francis Ngannou up on her shoulder, just like, no big deal. Like,
actually, I think it's disrespectful just to call her a super athlete. She is good at everything too. She's good too. That's what it's. She has all the skills, technical skills, to be a high level fighter, plus extreme athleticism. So I just think.
Right.
Weili is
I'm not saying that to be disrespectful and not. I mean, Zhang's an incredible fighter.
Yeah. She's that good, I feel.
Yeah, Carla has wins over very well-rounded fighters, but her kryptonite has been super athletic competition. Joanna, Tatiana Suarez, and then this one I feel will be kind of similar. So outside of that, she's great. And you said something about borderline Hall of Famer. I think she is a Hall of Famer. If you win a title twice, the road back to the belt, even though if you think her resume is a little weak because she won some splitties that maybe you didn't personally score for her, she came all the way back after she got run over by Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Like, that was a hard fight for her to even get past. And then she got back and made this jaunt right back to the title and got it back. It beat Rose. Now, was it the most compelling fight of all time? No. But she still won the belt the second time when no one thought she would after that Joanna fight. And she came back and did it. Like, it's just unbelievable. So, to me, she will be a Hall of Famer. I don't know if she's going to, like, get in, like, if she retired after Saturday or something, would she get in the next July? I don't know, but she's going to be in the Hall of Fame because she is a 2-time champion.
I only said borderline because of the way the UFC operates, and it's not. There's no actual system. It's just
Yeah.
who gets in. But I actually do think she's a Hall of Famer. If there's an MMA Hall of Fame, I don't say borderline because I just don't trust the UFC Hall of Fame. But I absolutely agree with you, Mr. Heck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are right. If you're a 2-time champion, you should. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to look at the list of.
No,
UFC champions
I want to say
now.
even more than that. I won't even count. She was the top strawweight champion before UFC had a strawweight division too.
Sure.
So I mean, it was. I want to. That's why I say almost her entire MMA career, she has been just elite for the entire time. Once she hit that kind of top 5 status, and for an extremely long time, like her consistency is incredible.
But I bring up the 2 title wins because I think that's one you could throw at people, even like the most casual kind of like UFC, or someone who doesn't like Esparza. It's like, look, she won 2 UFC titles. It's like even if you, let's say someone's like, oh, I don't care what she did before the UFC, or I don't. It's like, well, in the UFC, she won 2 titles. She was the first strawweight champion. She's the current strawweight champion. And after Saturday, she might continue to be.
She
strawweight
beat a
champion.
future Hall of Famer twice.
Yeah, she has a lot of notable wins on her record. So it's not just like her wins over against nobody. She's beaten nothing but ranked opposition.
And we let Jed get the brag about her Nunes over Pena over Nunes. I did pick Esparza both times over Rose.
Did you? Oh.
But I just think this matchup is horrible for Esparza, and she's gonna just get demolished. And I love being shocked. I love being wrong, but man, I'm with Jed on this. I was like, this is like, as far as coming in as a champion, man, I just can't see. I can't think of a recent history where a champion is gonna I just don't see him winning at all. No way. Like a legit champion, like Carla.
Again,
go ahead, AK. I'm pulling up.
I was gonna say I can totally see a scenario where, again, I'm a believer. If you have an A+ skill in MMA, and you just have it going on the right day, that skill can take you places. I mean, look, Carla Esparza is a UFC champion. Now, her wrestling wasn't exactly her A+ wrestling wasn't exactly on display in the Rose Namajunas fight, but I'm saying she got her way to the top because she has an A+ skill. She has this one skill that she can always fall back on. Again, how effective will that?
Her wrestling won the Namajunas fight just because of the threat of it. That's what I mean. You didn't get to see it, but that's what the threat of her wrestling
in a more subtle
Rose
way,
fight like that.
Sure.
She's 10-4 in the UFC. So this is gonna be her 15th fight in the UFC. Her losses were to Joanna, who at the time in 2015, Joanna was the Boogie Woman, and she held that moniker for quite some time. She was even during the Ultimate Fighter season, most people thought Joanna was still the best 115-pounder in the world. Like, if you were
Joanna
following the sport at that time, those two.
Yeah.
Randa Marco split decision. Most people thought Carla won that fight. Like, most people thought Carla won that fight. Then another splitty to Claudia. I thought Claudia won that fight, but if you want to make a case for Esparza, like, it was close enough that you can make a case, but I still thought Claudia won that fight. And then the other loss was to Tatiana Suarez, who is just an incredible fighter and is just an incredible athlete. Like, these are her losses. Tatiana Suarez and Joanna were like the 2 clear losses of her career.
That's incredible. That's an incredible career.
Aside from Rose, has she never rematched? Has she never had a rematch? Or am I crazy?
Claudia, right? No, she fought Claudia once. She was matched up against Claudia many times. That's what.
Yeah, that's right. That's surprising that she. And again, it's surprising, and also again a testament to that she's faced repeatedly strong competition. Riona Jandiroba's in there. That's a great win. Alex Grasso. That's a lot of good wins.
I kind of wanted to see I would still pick Joanna, but even on to the next one, AK. Like, every time Carla won, I wanted to see her fight Joanna to get the title shot.
It just made sense.
Just fight Joanna. If you it just made all the sense in the world. Like, you get that win back, you try to get that win back. Like, there's no denying you at that point. There's no denial. You're getting a title shot. Dana White showing up at the press conference and saying, "All right, Carla beat Joanna. She gets a title shot." Beating Yan Xiaonan, that was a great performance. This is the best. That was the probably best she's ever looked. Absolutely. And they still wouldn't give her the title fight. But if she did that to Joanna, that's a whole different ballgame. So, I mean, I was always curious because I know how hard she took that loss. Like, that one stung for a while. So, I remember, like, when I the first time I interviewed her, I was told straight up a while ago, like, I couldn't even bring that fight up. Like, if I wanted to interview her, I couldn't even ask her about it. because it was still hurting. It was still on her mind like that badly at that point. I mean, it was a long time ago, but that was just one I would like to. I was always curious about, like, what if they fought again? Would it would be the same exact thing?
I always wanted to see that rematch too, because Carla came into that fight with. You talk about Erin Blanchfield. This is like she's fighting MSG for the first time. You know, this big thing for her. For Carla, it was the same way when she fought Joanna. Before that, all her championship fights were for Invicta with a mass, with maybe 1,000 people at most attending those events, and then Tough House, and then she won the Tough finale, which was at I think the Palms, which is still a venue of like 2,000 people. So with 1 year, she went from that, and then she was a co-main event in a sold-out arena. I think the Anthony Pettis RDA card in Dallas. So, and I remember it's like, dude, that's just so much to handle. 1 year to go from that to that to that. And Joanna had already kind of been in big matches over in Poland and stuff in KSW, so she's kind of had the big arena experience too. So I did feel bad for Carla, just in that sense. So I always did want to see a rematch too. Although I would still pick Joanna, I felt Esparza had kind of earned that rematch.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I'm glad we've given this fight its due. Yeah. Again, I think it is like, I was just looking at this whole card. I'm like, I think it's so well booked. I think I have questioned the Chris Gutierrez, Frankie Edgar booking it first, but it's only because I'm so obsessed with getting him like I felt like his last fight should have been a Legends fight. It's really not on paper like a terrible. I mean, it is terrible. Well, no, I think Frankie Edgar can be competitive. I don't think Chris Gutierrez is a great fighter.
It's not that I'm picking him to win. It's just Chris Gutierrez is he's an up and comer, but it's not the guy that Frankie should go out on. Win or lose.
It's like the Shogun Eor Poteria fight. It's like, okay, sure. It's like I get it, but like we couldn't have, we have these legends. We have so much limited time with these legends. Could we not? Frankie, I mean, was asked about the Dominick Cruz fight, of course, or he brought it up, I think, at Media Day, and it's like, yeah, but that's a fight we all wanted to see. How did that not come together? And now it looks like, fingers crossed, if Frankie does stay to his word, and this is his last fight, it looks like that fight will not happen. But before we can talk about that more later, I want to talk about Poirier and Chandler. Holy crap!
Before we talk about the other ones, let's real quick go. 50 minutes left. Alex Pereira is not here. Let's just
plenty of time.
Let's just stress people out. Just
plenty.
let's just keep going.
Alex Pereira is not here yet. But hey, listen, neither is Ryan Spann or Mike Trizano or Nikolai Negumereanu. So what does it really mean, right? Maybe they're hanging out. Nothing to worry about. Less than an hour, but plenty of that hour left. Yes, Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler, of course, on paper, fight. You make these fights to have people saying fight of the year ahead of time, and to land on those top 5 lists at the end of the year looks spectacular, or possibly a knockout of the year. I think this goes the distance, but what's at this stage though? More so, I guess it's a bigger question mark for Poirier. Let's say Poirier wins. Mike, we'll do a little sort of knowing, advanced knowing. Let's say Poirier wins. What are his options after this? He's probably not getting a title shot anytime soon. Where does he go?
I wouldn't rule that out.
Okay.
I wouldn't rule that out with Makhachev being the champion. Mm-hmm. If they can't get Volk done or Beneil done, because let's be honest, Beneil deserves this title fight.
If he jumps Beneil, I will just.
But what's gonna do better on pay-per-view? Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier or Islam Makhachev versus Beneil Dariush? Yeah, we know the answer to that question. And it's just unfair at this point. But I mean, probably Dariush. Like that'd probably be if they go Volkanovski, Poirier Dariush is probably the best thing Dariush could hope for. Like be the backup for that fight and just fight Dustin. Because it's a fight Beneil would probably be favored in or be close. It's a winnable fight. And guaranteed, and he's just him being there. It almost like a win guarantees him a title fight, especially if he's on the same card. I think Chandler. I think a Chandler win. I think a Chandler win explodes this whole division.
Jose, what's before we talk about Michael Chandler? Jose, yeah, go ahead. What's going on with Poirier if he gets a win? What do you think?
I think it would depend on if we got to see how Alex and Islam win, because if Alex wins, he's got to defend his featherweight belt too, which then you can make an inch in the title fight in lightweight, essentially a number one contender's belt. So if Alex wins, the winner of this could just fight Beneil for a quote-unquote interim title. And then when Alex comes back up to lightweight, there's someone waiting for him. Same thing for Chandler. If the winner of this, I wouldn't hate either the winner of this rematching Charles or Justin, honestly. Either one.
Dude, I would be down for Poirier Gaethje too.
Title fight. Chandler seems pretty interested in fighting Conor. And Conor's already, you've seen Conor's Instagram stuff. He's back at SBG, like training. He's doing a lot of wrestling. And especially Dustin, I don't think he seems pretty past the Conor thing. But like, I think both men would probably want to rematch Charles too. But Charles wants a little time off, so if they want to run that in like June or whatever, then I think that'd be fun too. But I think we need a lot of our questions will be answered when Alex fights his. Because defending 2 belts is tough. It's not like Amanda where there's no featherweight division. The lightweight division is incredibly competitive. So if he needs to drop back down to featherweight and fight Josh Emmett at some point, Beneil can fight the winner of Saturday for the quote-unquote number 1 contender. So then when Alex goes back up, he's there. If he gets hurt in a featherweight title, they have a belt still rolling. I think it's like one of the few times an interim title like makes a lot of sense.
A ton of sense, yeah.
The champions 2 belts.
Definitely. No, yeah. We talk about sort of like, we question interim titles all the time, but in this situation, if we're going to do this quote unquote super fight, I mean, it has to be in play, right? Casey, I want to ask you actually about Chandler specifically. So he's said kind of all the right things this week. We talked about he's pretty media savvy as far as like, I like the Islam thing. Like, he has to defend against lightweight first.
I actually enjoyed the honesty from Chandler, and basically he just admitted, I'll grind this. He kind of admitted I just need a victory.
Yeah, he's right.
Which is funny because that's what, we kind of like. This fight could be very similar to his second fight with Brent Primus, if you remember that fight, when Chandler had to get a victory, and it was a bad 25-minute fight, and he just held Primus down for 25 minutes, but it was a dominant win. But oh, sorry, I'm kind of breaking down. I was kind of going how I think the fight's going to go for Chandler. What were you going to ask?
I was going to ask, the 2 things I liked from him were him saying, Islam needs to defend against the lightweight first, which is, I mean, whatever.
What does that mean?
I don't think a lot of people agree with that. But no, it's good for him to say, like, essentially keep his name in there. I never, shoot people down for campaigning. You should do that. This is what we always say Beneil Dariush should do, right? And the second thing was, of course, I had not realized how often he has called for the Conor fight. Like, I mean, I know he'd done it before, but I was gonna do, here's a little inside baseball. I was gonna do a write up for Media Day. I'm like, he's the Conor call out. I'm the guy for Conor. And then I was talking to our editor, and it was like, and he was like, have we not done a story on that before? And I'm like, let me do a quick check. So I check MMAfighting.com, Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor. There's like 7 headlines, like every 2 months, like clockwork, almost like with Chandler saying some variation of like, I'm next for Conor. I'm the right guy for Conor. When Conor comes back, hey, right here, this guy. And I'm like, okay, we can probably pass.
It's like John Jones moving the heavyweight stories.
That's even more. That's like 20 stories over 30 stories over the last 5 years. I think since like 2016, it's been the heavyweight move is coming. Guys, we lost Jose for a second. He will get back to us. I don't think you're missing anything. I'll let you
listen.
know.
Here's like a different take on this fight.
Please.
Because the fight's great. Like, this fight rules. We're all on the same page. This fight rules. But on the flip side, this fight sucks for the division because the fight, I mean, stylistically it's awesome, but for the division and trying to make it more interesting,
I agree,
and give fresh faces, this fight's awful for the division because you got guys like Fiziev who can't get a fight. You got guys like Sarukian, like Gamrot got a big fight with Beneil, but if it wasn't Beneil, Gamrot's probably not getting that fight on that spot with anybody else. Like, he's not getting that with Poirier. He's not getting that with Chandler, more than likely. You got like Ismagulov, you get Jalen Turner, Grant Dawson. Like, these guys are just, it's going to take forever for them to get into where they're at right now. Like, Gregor Gillespie's been offered like 11 fights and he hasn't taken any of them. Like, he's pulled out of the rankings. So like, it's so hard for these young, hungry guys who most of these names that I mentioned would not shock me if, given the right road to take, they could challenge for titles too, but it's just going to take them forever to get there because of fights like this. And the fight's going to be awesome. Or we're going to be like, it's the fight of the night. and it's gonna rule. It's gonna steal the show. Like, I'm not denying that, but the fact that this fight's happening and that the stakes are as high as they are when you have all these other guys that deserve fights like this in spots like this, it's tough, man. It's tough seeing Fiziev like just calling people out and can't get a fight. Like, you know what I mean?
You're back.
Yeah.
You're back.
Update. Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on. Pause.
Yes.
Fix that a little bit. But I was talking with Mike Vaughn of Junkies last UFC today. So
Mm-hmm.
update on the Pereira weigh-in thing. If Alex Pereira misses weight, he gets 2 extra hours. 2. If anyone else misses weight, that's a wrap.
That makes no
So
sense.
pretty much Alex is the only one.
That makes
Well,
no
I'm
sense.
just telling you.
I know. It's a
New
New
York
York
Commission.
thing, but that makes zero
New York
sense.
Commission at work again. So this
I'm
is great.
not worried at all.
And guys, and we're going to stay on, by the way, if this happens, we are going to stay on the full 2 hours. So hopefully he comes in at the 2 minutes before the deadline. And then, guys, I am ready for
You better make way.
4-hour weigh-in / Alex Pereira listen, we're giving you a live watch along tomorrow. This will be a live weigh along. You guys get a live weigh along today. How exciting is that going to be? No, fingers crossed. This does not happen, and he just weighs in, or at least if he has to weigh in again, does not take an entire 2 hours.
You know, the fact that he has 2 more hours, and this is kind of always my big thing about when DC missed weight with the towel. That was in New York, and I kept always saying he didn't cheat because the commission didn't give him an opportunity to actually get those 2 hours, because he actually weighed in at the very end of the 2 hours, and he was supposed to come in. He was supposed to have 2 more hours, but then he wound up coming in like 7 minutes later when it's still within the weigh-in window.
Yeah.
So I forget, but they do add this weird 2-hour rule for only championship fights in New York. So, but this can't be good for Pereira if he's going to use all that time, because that's less rehydration time, and I don't know, shows his weight cut didn't go as well as it could have. But
Or maybe he walks in 5 minutes and makes 185.
Yeah.
And then
either way, he's coming in kind of late.
He's just laughing. Mike, I just wanted to cap off your point about, like as much as we love this matchup with Poirier and Chandler, we did the ranking show recently. One of the topics was who are sort of the squatters in the rankings. And this is essentially 2 squatters fighting. It's a great fight. Listen, we're not being the MMA media and just being critical of everything. Awesome fight. We watch MMA is supposed to be fun. This is a great fun fight on paper. But again, you're right. Not so fun for guys like Fiziev, for guys who are trying to kind of get one of those big fights. Gregor Gillespie, we know, has been sitting around forever. I think telling himself like, nope, eventually a Chandler or Poirier is going to fight me. It's like, Gregor, I don't think it's
and so all these guys are forced to call out Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
That's basically what happens. Like, well, is Tony Ferguson available then? Because this guy won't fight me. This guy won't fight me. I can fight Tony Ferguson.
He's the lowest hanging fruit right now.
And then we as media and fans go, how dare you call out Tony Ferguson?
They don't have a choice. They know they're not getting Poirier. They know they're not getting Chandler. They know they're not getting.
Hey, but this is on the UFC. Yeah. I mean, this is on the UFC too, because I feel. I don't like this fight. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun fight. Cool. Dustin's always in fun fights. Chandler's Chandler. But yeah, I actually I don't think this card needs this fight. I think just Poirier or Chandler versus an upcoming prospect like a Fiziev, Gillespie or whatever, any guy, someone new to kind of potentially take that spot, or they can retain that spot. But yeah, I don't know. This doesn't create a new star,
No. And again, it's a great fight. People in the arena are going to be. It's going to have a great atmosphere. It's going to come off so good on the broadcast. It's got a huge, big fight feel to it. Especially for a third fight on the main card. It is not the one of the 2 headliners, but it's going to have a headlining vibe to it. So we love that. But yeah, if you care about rankings, title implications, building stars, as Casey said, it's like this just kind of keeps these 2 fighters and this division somewhat in neutral. I'm thinking about like a Claudio Puelles. Claudio Puelles is fighting. Let's say he gets a big win over Dan Hooker. Guess what? He's going to fall in that line of like waiting for one of these top guys to. He might have to call out Tony Ferguson. I don't know.
He's not going anywhere. Yeah,
right, we know.
We might have to remember what we did with the middleweight division. We have, if you listen on to the next one, we have the middleweight champion, which is Brendan Allen right now. Like the 16th best guy. Like we put them over because we know they're probably better, but it's going to take a long time for them to get that fight. Like Krzysztof Jotko was the middleweight champion for so long. And then Brennan just took that title. We might have to do that at 55 right now, AK, and just do a lightweight title. Just the 16th best dude. You're the guy. You're like the vice champion of this division.
It's like a notch above interim. It's like it's in terms of prestige to be an interim champion. It's
a great spot to be in. Brendan Allen is a lucky guy.
And he said for Christoph Jocko now as far no longer with the UFC. He handed off the middleweight title and now has perhaps laid his sword to rest, but we'll see where Christoph Jocko ends up. And we say this with all due respect. So as you said, guys, we're still waiting. Listen, if you want an update, we're still waiting on the same 4 names that we brought up about 20 minutes ago. Alex Pereira, of course, the other half of the main events. Ryan Spann, we hope that fight goes through, of course, because this is a big one for both fighters. Also, Dominick Reyes' first fight in some time since May of last year. Mike Trizano, his opponent, Seung Choi, came in, and Nico Negumereanu, kind of another big fight, guys. Nico has the second longest win streak at 205 in the UFC. I don't know if you would have noted that.
What is that, 4?
4, correct, yeah. Okay. No other. I know. Well behind Ankalaev at 9, but second is second. All right, he has a long way to go to catch.
What is Yuri's win streak?
I mean, in the UFC.
So
yeah. You're doing 3, right? 3-0, right?
Nothing exists before. Forget, yeah.
No, nothing exists before. No. I'm talking, active UFC win streak. Ankalaev at 9, Negumereanu right behind him. No, it was close behind at 4. So, yes,
it's an interesting matchup. It's an interesting fight.
Mm-hmm. Because very good matchmaking. Very good matchmaking again.
Because, when I first saw this matchup, I was like, Negumereanu's gonna win. He's just gonna win. But Olberg, despite being greenish in MMA, I mean, he's obviously a very powerful striker. And Negumereanu is just one of those guys that gets better the more he's punched in the face. He loves it. Him getting hit is what fuels him, and it just gets him going forward. And his toughness has been such a weapon for him.
Oh, yeah.
So he is going to get hit by Carlos Olberg. He's got to get hit clean by Carlos Olberg in this fight. But I just don't know if I love this. If you're trying to build Carlos Olberg up, I just don't know if this is the right matchup to do that. I don't know. I could be wrong. Olberg could just bolt him out of there in the first round, but I feel if we get extended here, if we go midway through the second, I feel like Negu's just going to do what he does best. But I don't know. It was just I found this out of all the matchmaking on this whole card, this one was the one I have the most pause about. I don't have an issue with it. It just seemed kind of strange.
If the UFC is trying to build Olberg, is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
there's other names you could use. There's other matchups you could have used to give him a highlight, and maybe he still gets one here. And I just feel like it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of risky.
I mean, he's already had 2. He's on a 2-fight win streak, and against 2 guys I've never heard of, honestly, and they fight in the UFC. I mean, I've saw the fights. I don't even recognize these names, to be honest. Olberg's last 2 opponents.
What was the first win? His first win.
Fabio Charant.
Fabio Charant.
That was one of the most
regrettable.
Yes, that was one of the most regrettable light heavyweight matchups in recent memory. And Chukwe wasn't bad. And Chukwe was finished him, right?
Yeah. Olberg won.
Yeah. That was nice. That was a nice. But I'm not saying Chukwe is the world beater, but I want to say he's no longer. No, I don't. I think he was on the
contender series.
Okay. He was a. Jamie Pickett. Okay, I see.
Equally experienced in terms of MMA, so that was a good matchup. But yeah, the Nico one is a little bit. Yes, sir.
If I showed you just the headshots of Nikolai Negumereanu and Michael Olejniczak, could you pick them out?
I think I know what Michael Olejniczak looks like. I don't know. I think
they're the same guy.
Can we do this?
Because
Casey, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we?
No. Because when you said that, I just realized that they're different people. I thought they're the same. In my mind, I thought they're the same guy.
Stop it,
dude.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
New York Rick's breakdown. He goes, "Well, I know Nikolai because if you look at him just face, he looks like a Russian Clay Thomas, and I think that's so funny. Take the guard from the Warriors.
I see
that's so funny.
Wait, Casey, can we get Nico and Michael Olejniczak on the on this. I am curious now because I feel like in my mind.
Don't tell AK
Just their
who's who.
headshots.
Don't tell AK. who's
Yeah,
who.
Because obviously Oleg Jacek has like chest tattoos, but if you do just their heads, it's funny.
Okay, all right. Let's see if we can get just the heads.
How do you spell the other guy's name?
OLIE.
Which one? OLEKSIEJCZUK.
That's a tough one.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I want to see it. I think maybe we let the commenters chime in as well. And by the way, this is no disrespect to both these fighters. Michael Oleksiejczuk looking really good at 185.
They look
and
very similar.
Okay. I have to see. And Nico Mariano, as I said, four fight win streak, the second longest. So no disrespect to these two fighters. It's just they have a little bit of work to do as far as name value goes. Probably, and we're going to see possibly facial recognition. I do want to let the commenters chime in here as well. So we'll leave it up for a second. Hopefully this will shake loose one of these guys because we are almost at the 30-minute mark with 4 people left to go. 2 light heavyweights, a featherweight, and of course a middleweight championship headliner. Alex Pereira has to make 185 in the dot. And I know we keep saying it, but he is a large man. All the pictures, people, a lot of the talk leading up to this fight, seeing pictures of him on social media, standing, how he compared to other fighters, and it's like, wow, like he was dwarfing some other pretty big, tall UFC fighters. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm on pins and needles now.
Right so excited.
This is so dumb.
Is it? Are you looking at them now? Is it a worthy? Like, is Jose's right? Like they're similar.
Well,
right?
side by side you can tell, but like.
Okay.
So pull one up at a time. Pull one up at a time.
Oh, that might be a good idea. Yeah.
Here we go. And
okay, I'm gonna think about this. Okay, I do know who's who. All right. I do know who's who. Let's let the commenters, guys, comment first. Which guy, to say left, right, who you think is who. Michael, and we just to make it easier, Nico, Michael. Let us know who you think is.
Yeah,
who.
they don't look very much alike in these two particular pictures.
No, but I think he's like it's not just not looking alike. It's like, do you know who these guys are? Again, 2 guys who are doing pretty well.
The only reason I ask is because I got these two confused this week because I remember Oleksiejczuk beating Sam, like just melting Sam out, and I'm like, that was a middleweight. I'm like, I thought Oleksiejczuk moved down. And then I'm like, why is he fighting Carl Solberg? Because I saw him in the hotel walking around. Because they have like a similar frame, like body and everything. Like obviously, if you just look at them straight on, you can tell. But if you see them fight, or you just see them moving around,
yeah,
like,
even
they're all
their
like
fights now.
There's no way you can tell them apart. So I'm like, wow, he's moving back up in weight to fight Carl Solberg. That's wild. And then I'm like, oh, different guy. Also, to be fair, Michael Oleksiejczuk would just smash all of the names above. That dude is a savage.
Yeah, he's good. This is.
Yeah, he's good. Okay.
Listen, we watch a lot of fights, guys. So listen, we do get people mixed up sometimes. Jose is on site a lot. I mean, he's seeing a million faces during a fight week. So I think most people seem to get it right. Casey, throw those faces up again if you can, please. I think most people seem to get it right. I saw 1 or 2 people maybe get them mixed up. Someone said Nico Price. They're just completely confused. But yes, I believe that is Michael Oleksiejczuk.
It's really the same weight class. They have very long Eastern European names. They kind of have you're kind of
they were in the same weight class.
2 guys who are just tough as nails.
Yeah. Everyone seems to have it. Michael left, Nico right. Okay, you guys are pretty on. But listen, we know our fans are super educated, but I get why one.
Do you think Dana White would know the difference?
No.
No.
0 chance.
We hope. That's a dumb question, Casey.
Look at Michael Oleksiejczuk's Wikipedia page. Look at the photo they're using for him.
On his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Oh,
whoa.
Menacing.
Hey, handsome.
Menacing.
It's a good photo page. He looks like a Bond villain.
Yeah. It's like,
he's got a good look.
A casting call for John Wick 4 or something.
In theaters soon.
You see the trailer?
I didn't. This isn't the one with Mel Gibson in it, is it? Is
I
Mel
don't
Gibson
know.
in this?
Everyone's. I'm not a big John Wick fan. Whatever, but
They're
I know
okay.
people
Yeah,
love it.
I know.
I like it. I like
sacrifice
it.
to
It's
say.
fun. It's fun. Yeah.
All right, we got some spammers here. Mike, I think
Yeah.
we might need your rain dance powers. I feel like once you start, I think you're gonna shake someone loose.
All right. This might be
I'm
my
seeing a
last
Ryan-
one. I gotta leave in like 9 minutes because my
Okay,
smelly
okay.
dog is getting groomed today. But
Yeah, and then there will be a heck of a morning as well soon.
11:30 a.m.
11:30.
Eastern is when we're gonna do
Amazing.
it. So we'll react to all this craziness. But
All
yes,
right.
let's do a
Like,
rundown.
bring them out.
Hey,
Bring them out.
AK,
Make them come out.
AK, warn these spammers. Warn these spammers. I don't
They're
like this.
just. I'm just kidding. They're just getting muted.
All right, here we
Okay,
go.
go ahead.
All right, here's what we got so far. Israel Adesanya in at 185 for his main event title defense against his old buddy Alex Pereira, who has yet to step onto the scale. Carla Esparza, Zhang Weili, they're official for their strawweight title fight, both weighing in at 114.8. Dustin Poirier, 156, taking on Michael Chandler, who weighed in at 155.8. Frankie Edgar weighed in for the final time as an MMA fighter. At least that's what we think. Weighted at 135.6, taking on Chris Gutierrez, who weighted at 136. Dan Hooker, 155.8, takes on Claudio Puelles. He successfully made weight 155.2. Renato Moicano, 155.8, taking on Brad Riddell in the featured prelim, 155.6. Dominick Reyes, back on the scale, first time since May of last year, 205.4. His opponent, Ryan Spann, yet to step up. Erin Blanchfield, 125, takes on Molly McCann, who weighed in at 125.4. Andre Petroski, 185.8, taking on Wellington Turman, 185.2. Otman Azaitar returns to the octagon tomorrow. Made weight today, 155.6, taking on Matt Frivola, the Steamroller, 154.8. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, 115.6, takes on Silvana Gomez Juarez, also weighted at 115.6. Seung Choi weighted at 145.6, still waiting on Mike Trizano. Julio Arce successfully makes it 135.8 for his fight against Montel Quick Jackson, who also weighted at 135.8. And Carlos Olberg, 205.2. He will take on Nikolai Negumereanu, who has yet to step onto the scale. So 4 fighters left, gentlemen. Back to you.
Man, this is a second rundown. No, this is, I think, the first time that you've done consecutive rundowns in a weigh-in show, and it did not, like, one person didn't come out to interrupt it. Oh boy.
I know.
Listen, plenty of time. Casey, plenty of time, right? You 25 minutes. Come on, 25 minutes, 4 fighters. Nothing to worry about. Casey, I think you're muted. Okay. All right. He's doing a bit.
Yeah.
Casey lied to everyone. He's doing a bit. He's
Yeah,
doing a bit.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. That's good. You got it. That's good.
I need to use that. I need to use that more.
Waka waka. Can we talk about Frankie Edgar and Chris Gutierrez a little more? Casey, hashtag MMA retirement. What do you think? What's the vibe you're getting, man?
What about Frankie retiring?
Yeah, he's done, right? He's done. He's been saying.
No, I think he's done. Yeah, he's done. He's done this for a long time. I think what DC said when his conversation about Frankie, I think it made a lot of sense. He's like, if I don't quit now, like, when will I quit? Because at some point I have to move on in my life. And I get that. Like, he just has to move on in his life, and if he doesn't quit, whoa, Mike Heck, that stare. That look of death, that your dog, like, not now.
He just went and laid back. He just went and laid back down. So he knows,
you gave me the eyes. I saw you like.
He looked right at me. He goes, "Oop," goes back down.
No, I think Frankie is retiring at a perfect time. I don't like this fight, but at least he gets to fight MSG. He's a featured. He's on the pay-per-view, right? Is that on the paper?
Yep.
Okay. And honestly, it's on the pay-per-view as almost as a courtesy in a sense. It's like Frankie Edgar deserves to be that high up on the card, even though ranking-wise, whatever, it probably shouldn't be. But because of the situation, yeah, I'm happy Frankie's on this spot. He's gonna get lots of hopefully a really awesome video package by the UFC before he comes out, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Yeah. So I don't know how the fight's gonna go for him, but. Yeah, I feel this is Frankie's time. 41 years old at bantamweight, and he's not top 10, right? He's not even ranked top 10 anymore.
In the UFC's rankings, no, not top 10. No, definitely. He might have a number next to his name.
Yeah. I mean, he's not even our top 15.
Not our rankings.
Yeah. No. So yeah, it's time. It's time.
I'm just.
He's 12. He's 12 in the UFC rankings.
He's 12 in the UFC. Yeah. Okay. Very respectful. Mike, you think you agree? You'd agree, right? This is it, right?
Yeah, this is it. He's done. But this is the only way he wanted to do it. He got it. He got the spot he wanted. He got the card he wanted. He'll ride off into the sunset, win or lose. The one thing you could always appreciate about Frankie Edgar, and you'll get it more than anything on Saturday or tomorrow, he leaves everything out there. And there is no doubt in my mind that he's going to leave everything he has in that octagon tomorrow. So no matter how the chips fall, he will give his best effort. There won't be any slacking off. There won't be any letdowns in terms of what he's going to do. It just might not be enough against Chris Gutierrez. I don't love the matchmaking because, I just don't know what this does for Chris Gutierrez if he wins. Maybe he gets a ranking, but what does that mean in a division like this with the chaos going up at the top of the division right now with the champion and O'Malley and Cejudo and Vera and everybody else? So I don't know what exactly that means in the long term, but it's a fight Frankie can win. That's for sure. This is a winnable fight for Frankie Edgar. This is a winnable fight. I just feel like for Frankie to win, I think he's going to have to get him out of there in probably the first 6 minutes, because eventually Chris is going to start landing those leg kicks, and it could be a rough final stretch of the fight for him. But who knows? Maybe Frankie goes in there and just gets a bunch of takedowns and just does the thing. I mean, we saw what Cody Durden did to Chris Gutierrez on the ground. Frankie can take him down and hold him down as well. So it's a winnable fight for Frankie, a chance for him to go out on top. I don't think we'll feel horrible about it because Chris might finish him, but I don't think it's going to be like a brutal, devastating knockout like we saw in the Marlon Vera fight. I think it's just, some leg kicks, maybe like a quick ground and pound. I don't think he's going to get brutally KO'd like that. So, I mean, there's some positives here. I just don't know what this win does for Chris Gutierrez in the long term, outside of just getting a number. But like I talked about earlier, I don't know what that number really means in this division at this point.
And look at Frankie Edgar's resume. When was the last time he fought an unranked opponent? This this fight even happening is pretty crazy for Frankie Edgar. Marlon Vera, top 5 or top 10 when he fought him. Corey Sagan, top 5. Pedro Munoz, top 10.
Cub Swanson, maybe. Cub Swanson, he might
at that time. Cub Swanson was 2018 was definitely a top 10 featherweight.
He was definitely ranked, I would think.
Yeah, he was definitely top 10. Like Korean Zombie, Max Holloway, Brian Ortega, Yair. Maybe the Jeremy Stevens fight in 2016. Even 2016, Jeremy Stevens was probably he had to be top 10 back then.
I think he was ranked.
Yeah, so he had to be back then. So Jesus.
Yeah, his
crazy.
I'm looking.
The dude has fought the cream of the crop. His first fight in the UFC was, at the time, like, newer fans probably don't know who Tyson Griffin is, but Tyson Griffin was like, that dude is real good. And Frankie just goes in on his UFC debut. Griffin had like a lot of momentum going on, and he just went in there and just beat him, styled on him. It was a great performance. That was his first UFC fight.
Yep.
Which may not mean a lot to like newer fans, but at the time, I'm sure Frankie was a pretty sizable underdog in that fight.
He was a big underdog in that fight. Tyson Griffin was
went out there and won.
Top 10 at that time for sure.
When he beat Sean Shirk, I was like, wow. I was like, holy. So Sean Shirk, this is talk about forgotten MMA names. Sean Shirk. This guy, he ended his career with only 4 losses. His first 3 losses were to prime Matt Hughes, prime George St. Pierre, prime BJ Penn. And then he lost to Frankie Edgar, who I probably was not in his prime yet, was still coming up. And that blew my mind. I was like, I just couldn't. And it's a really good fight. If you watch that fight, like, it's a really like convincing decision win for Frankie. Like, it's just vintage Frankie. It's so good. And you would kind of see that he would become a champion soon. But that's the one that opened my eyes. But yeah, Tyson Griffin, once upon a time. One of the up and coming. I don't even say up and coming. He was pretty popular.
No, he was an elite guy. I think Frankie came in kind of short notice for that fight too. I'm not gonna recall, but I really wish his fight was, if you're gonna book a final fight in New York at bantamweight, I really wish it was Frankie Edgar versus Brian Kelleher. That's kind of the fight I
Yeah.
would like to see.
That
Brian Kelleher wanted to
that
be on
would've
this
been
card.
cool.
Two New York
I like
guys,
that.
and I think Kelleher's approach to the fight would have been a little more positive instead of like, I'm gonna send this guy out of the sport and stuff, which is fine for Gutierrez, but Kelleher's not that guy. He's like, hey man, I'm fighting a legend, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna put a show on. I think maybe that would have just a little better energy, I feel, than the whole like, I'm gonna knock this old guy out. It's like, I get it, but
Kelleher's not even in the state right now. He's at a wedding.
So,
gentlemen,
gentlemen,
because Keller's on the card. I saw Keller's been tweeting. He's like just a bunch of bummed out, like, oh, I'm bummed out not on this card, But
all right, well,
Okay.
gentlemen, it's I hate to do this, but it's
Mike?
been real. I gotta take
okay.
the dog out. What do we got?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
All right. Well,
No.
see you guys later. Heck of a morning at 11:30, and then
Yep.
preview show 5 p.m. AK,
Heck of a
you're
morning
the
coming
best
up.
in the
Bye,
business
my
as
best friend.
weigh-in shows.
Thank you,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Bye-bye. Jose, I want to get your take on it, of course. Jose, our
What?
Jose, our boots on the ground. You have been in the same room with Frankie. You have felt the energy. You felt the supposed retirement energy. You're pretty confident that this is it.
Yes. Did you guys watch Media Day?
Yeah, but
He straight up asked, "Hey, is this your retirement?" He's like, 100%. I'm like,
Mm-hmm. I want to get your. I don't want Frankie Edgar. Fighters are liars.
Yeah,
I don't want
they lie
his
all the
take on.
time.
Jose, I'm coming to the X. I could get any fighter to say whatever. I want to get your take. I want the Jose Young's take. Is this, lay down the law? Is this the last we see of Frankie Edgar?
yeah, it's a wrap. Like he said, unless Manny Pacquiao calls him out, then he's not fighting again.
I think MMA. I would have to think MMA. Almost definitely done. But yeah, listen, he left the boxing door open. And why shouldn't you, right? Why shouldn't you? If someone leaves if someone out there is willing to pay you a fat check to a boxing match, Frankie, do it. He's a great boxer. I'd love to see him in a straight up boxing match. Even though I've been saying for a long time, I don't really want to see him fight again, for health reasons and based on how some of his fights have ended recently. But I would not begrudge him. I don't think anyone could begrudge him taking a well-paying boxing match. So.
Oh, no.
Israel Adesanya just tweeted out 3 popcorn emojis, so he is relaxing. There you go. New York Rick giving me the heads up on that. Izzy's having a good time. This is literally tweeted seconds ago, less than a minute ago. So he is. He does not. Izzy, listen, not concerned. He was the second person to weigh in.
He was in the first
Carla
group.
Carla was first.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carla was first. Izzy was definitely somewhere in there. So it's not his first rodeo making championship weight. This is Alex Pereira's first UFC championship fight. Obviously, he's fought for titles in 2 divisions in Glory, but big guy.
Oh, what a bummer. Oh, this ain't good. I'm just saying. This ain't.
It's not good. Whether he makes it or not.
Even if he makes it or not, this is a bad sign because you have to rehydrate. It's just there's gonna be we're gonna be on edge for a little bit, even if he makes weight. Just because you know how this goes with these guys at the last second. The rehydration process a lot of times doesn't go well.
And by the way, 3 other guys
Yeah.
we're still waiting on.
Gentlemen, where
I
are you?
want to see if any of you guys have a history. I know Mike Trizano has been in a fight. Oh no, Mike Trizano, sorry, has bounced between weight class. He has not missed weight. I don't think. No.
Trizano?
I don't think so. No. I was trying to think of his opponents had either, but okay. So, listen, I'm not. Let's all again. People are just taking their time, right, Casey? They're just taking their time. They're just taking their time. They're well underway. They're just taking their time. They don't care about
They just love sitting backstage.
Yeah, I don't want to rehydrate.
Dehydrated. Like,
I don't want to rehydrate.
Go out there.
Who rehydrates? Like,
Hydration's for the weak.
hydrates for the week. I'm not going to do that. Casey, any other fights that we haven't talked about? We've covered the card.
I love saying Wellington. I love saying Wellington Turman. It's just a fun name to say.
It's an amazing name.
Yeah, it's a great name, and it's a Brazilian. I don't know. Is he the only Brazilian named Wellington? Is that a common name in Brazil? I just don't know. Wellington. I think of Wellington as like an aristocrat. Like, hello, Wellington.
I will message Guillermo Cruz right now.
Like Wellington's he was wasn't one of the guys in was it Trading Spaces with Eddie Murphy? Wasn't one of the rich guys named Wellington? I feel like.
Jose, I don't know. You want to pick that one up?
Say it again.
Is Wellington a common name in Brazil?
No, you're asking about the movie. You're asking about Trading Places.
Yeah.
I have literally. What movie are you talking about?
Trading Spaces with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
Spaces. Oh, the Dan Aykroyd movie. What? So what was it like?
Oh, with the two rich guys that made the bet. I swear, I think one of their names was Wellington Turman.
I don't know.
That's all. AK is kind of kept going.
From the man himself. Oh, Izzy also now just tweeted he's just having a FaceTime with Francis Ngannou, so he's just having a good time. He is chilling. He is chilling. Sorry, from the man himself, Guilherme Cruz, the Brazilian beast. He says.
Oh, wait. Sorry, the names of the guys in Trading Spaces was not Wellington. It was Montemare and Randolph.
Mortimer.
Mortimer.
Good Lord.
Guilherme Cruz says common is
one of the characters' names was Winthrop.
Winthrop. That's what I was thinking. Winthrop. That's what I got confused with. Oh, Dan Aykroyd. Yeah.
From the Guilherme Cruz, by the way, Brazilian beast, says Wellington. As far as the name Wellington in Brazil, common is a stretch, but it's not rare.
No, okay.
Not a rare name. So there are other Wellingtons out there. And if you'd like to meet more Wellingtons, Jose or Casey, you head to Brazil. There's apparently several.
I'm assuming that he's the one and only Wellington that's ever been in the UFC. Is there another Wellington I missed?
Oh, you gotta make me bring up my. You gotta
break
up my database
UFC
here.
On UFC 4.
Hold on, I gotta break up my database, my friggin' 800-page UFC database. My personalized database. I have to imagine he is first or last name. I cannot think of other. There may be people from Wellington, New Zealand. I don't know. Maybe.
That doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Okay. I would assume
that's not a real place.
Yeah, not real.
Yeah, nobody comes from there, right? Who would come from New Zealand?
You're full of it, AK.
Listen. We know this is not. I mean, we know.
Next thing you're gonna tell me, there's these fictional worlds called Moncton.
I can't wait until Marlon Moraes and Shaman Moraes fight again, and the loser becomes either Marlon Moncton. Oh God, it sounds horrible to say. Marlon Moncton or Shaman Moncton.
Oh my God!
Do we know? Stupid. Sorry, random. Do we have a price for the PFL pay-per-view yet? No, right?
Is that a real thing? I thought people were kind of like. Is it really a pay-per-view? I thought it was like they just kind of tossed the idea out there, like.
Is that a real thing? This next week.
Do you know Oh, here you go. Here's a fun fact for you. AK. Speaking of Wellington, the name has another little tie to this card. Wellington is the capital city of New Zealand.
Yes, correct.
So there you go. A bunch of New Zealanders on the card.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I brought. I mean, that's one
Maybe
reason.
That's
I see what you're saying. Yeah, what a quirky, kind of quirky coincidence. Wellington Turman, people who are from a country where the capital is Wellington. God,
wow,
anime's funny. Wow, the universe, man, the universe.
Wow,
whoa. I got to let people know. Alex Pereira still to weigh in.
Yeah, we got a lot of people tuning in right now, waiting to see if Mike Trizano makes weight.
Yeah, this is listen, I don't like the drama, but it certainly gets people to tune in. 10 minutes, we're about 10-minute mark.
Yeah.
We got on the clock. Less than. Oh my goodness. 9.5. 4 not to be pessimistic, I have a feeling at least one of these people we're waiting for is probably not going to make it.
They brought up the boxing thing so early?
John? We're gonna run.
What was that, Casey?
We got go in the box.
Casey, sorry, what'd you say?
I was like, where's the box? They gotta get that.
I think they're gonna have to do what they did. Yeah. So anyone just tuning in now who didn't see the beginning of the weigh-ins, there was a run of fighters where they brought the box out for one of them, and they just left it out there, and then a few of other fighters just stepped in. So we'll see. I think Jose was just asking. It sounds like he was asking John Anik, might have to do the same here, or just kind of bring the box out first?
No.
Then
he brought in.
No,
he brought in his suit. Someone delivered John Anik his suit, and I was like, John, show it. Go change it.
Run away.
Changing the box.
We have fun out here.
Oh,
so jealous. But I think they should do.
Sport.
It's supposed to be fun.
That's what
But I think we
UFC
should
stands for.
I think we should do a box run. Bring up the box now and just have them line up behind the box and just boom, you're in. Step on the scale. Step on the scale. Also, can we get the beam scale out? If we could get the beam scale out here, just because this digital scale, it will have no mercy for if you're 0.1 over. And I'll tell you something. In Vegas, that's probably gonna fly. They'll probably just be like, whatever, it's 0.1. We don't
There's
care.
no 0.1 on a beam scale. It's
I can't even see 0.1. You're fine.
No 0.1. Yeah.
Digital scale 0.1. I don't know, man. I am worried for all these fighters, not just Alex Pereira, but Ryan Spann. If anything, we're somewhat worried for Alex Pereira at least because apparently, as Jose reported, the New York Commission will allow a championship fighter an extra 2 hours. Ryan Spann, Mike Trizano, and Nico Negumereanu will not be given that luxury. They just have now 7 minutes to go. Francis Ngannou just tweeted, quote tweeted Israel, sharing that picture of them saying, "Don't do me like that." Jose's right. You know what? MMA is supposed to be fun. MMA is supposed to be fun.
That's what the F in UFC stands for. No one knows this. Little known fact.
Ultimate Fun Championship?
Yep.
Pereira's coming.
Pereira's coming. All right.
Box is already out. They're literally going to be on the box right now.
All right, letting people know on Twitter. Here comes Alex Pereira. Israel Adesanya tweeting. Jose, you retweet it. Please make weight. Just
look at that. Look at the walking box. It's so cute. Like a little box mascot.
Oh, he's in the
little feet. Do.
There you go.
Box of shame. Yes.
Redemption.
All right, I'm gonna play the music.
Do it, please.
That's him right there.
Oh yeah. He might not be on weight. He just has to weigh in right now.
All right, next fighter to the scale, taking part in first UFC title fight, the number 4 ranked middleweight contender, Alex Pereira.
Whoa.
184.6.
What?
The official weight for Alex Pereira.
84.6. This championship fight is official.
Championship fight is now official.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Casey, Jose, please, someone speak. I don't know. I'm coming down right now from that.
Light work.
Wow.
Jose says light work. That was no problem. No drama. Under championship weight.
I guess he wanted to make sure he was not gonna miss weight. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Yeah. Good for him. Awesome.
Yeah, good for him. Didn't need
you know
the 2 hour window.
This deserves another one.
And now we got less than 5 minutes for 3 fighters. Okay, here comes. Just leave the box out there, man. I don't know why they're moving.
What are we doing?
The scale is the 12th
We don't got time.
light heavyweight contender, Ryan Superman Spann.
Ryan Spann. All right. He's in the box.
Ooh.
206.6. The official weight for Ryan Spann. 0.6 ounces over.
206.6 for Ryan Spann. That is 0.6 over the limit. The status of his bout with Dominick Reyes still in question.
The box of shame.
I'll have 2 names to go. Ryan Spann having to do a little pose there.
Down in front.
Down in front.
Our
Hey.
next fighter to the scale, competing in the UFC's featherweight division, Michael Trizano.
Here is Michael Trizano trying to make 146 with the 1 pound allowance.
Don't make me get my red marker out, Mike.
No. People asking, does Ryan Spann or any of these guys have extra 2 hours? No, only Alex Pereira, because he was in a championship fight, according to the New York Commission, would have been allowed the extra 2 hours. So I don't know if these guys get any extra time at all, but they were not getting 2 hours.
147.6, the official weight for Michael Trizano.
147.6. That's a miss of 1.6 pounds over the limit for Michael Trizano. His fight with Seung Choi, again, not official yet. There it is. Keep betting. It sucks, guys. It sucks. You know, you sign a contract, you got to do it. But boy, it is.
Hey, down in front. Down in front. Come on, man. Jeez.
And we got 2 minutes, I imagine. Maybe I'm wrong, Jose. Nico Negamurianu just waiting to step onto the scale, I guess.
He's literally right here.
All right, and our final fighter to weigh in this morning, competing in the UFC's light heavyweight division, Nikolai Negumereanu.
This box of shame is making its
It has been a box. It started off as a box of redemption, by the way. Again, the first 3 fighters who used the box all made it. Now it has turned back into a box. It turned it back into a box of shame.
Yeah.
But we still have a chance here. It could still end as a box of redemption.
Ooh.
206.2 for Nikolai Negamurianu. So that is a miss of 0.2 pounds. Are they? No, that's it.
Is that it?
No, hold on. He's
206 even.
Oh, what did he do? What? What did he do? What? He turned and did something, and 0.2 pounds just went away. 206 for Nico Negamurianu. He made the weight. His fight with Carl Salzberg is official.
Hey, all right. Here's what happened. So they're just bringing. Hey, stop that.
Hold on, Jose.
He's officially the music plays.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jose. Go ahead.
I'm trying to explain so you guys aren't confused. So what they've been doing is they're just putting the box out. Like Pereira didn't strip down. He went in with his trunks on, same as Mediano. So when he walked in on, he still had his trunks on, but the box was still around him. So when he missed weight, he just goes, "I'm taking my trunks off." So he stepped out, took the trunks off, stepped back on, lost 0.2 pounds. So even the first weigh-in in the box still had all his stuff on.
Okay. Thanks, Jose. I'll repeat what.
Why
Jose
is there a box then?
Yeah, the sound is again. There's a lot of sound going on there. So if anyone didn't hear, they had the box out, but people did not come up and and strip immediately. They came up with their clothes still on, and then if they needed to, they stripped. That's what Nico did. So he still had his shorts on. That's why he weighed 206.2. Boom. Take those sweaty, heavy ass shorts off. 0.2 pounds gone. Nico Negamurianu is on weight. Okay, Casey, I'll give us the rundown here. A lot of drama.
Oh wait, hold on.
My goodness. Oh, please.
Ryan Spann's name. Sorry.
What happened?
It's not red, and people need. To
know. Yeah. Oh, you really got to do it. You got to do it. Eh?
Hey man,
you got to do it.
Sorry. You ready? Right. Ready for our final read through?
Yeah. I got to do some writing real quick, but let's do this read through. Okay. There it is. Okay. Guys, as you just saw, as a lot of people tuned in for, Alex Pereira did make weight, so that main event is official with champion Israel Adesanya weighing in 185 and Alex Pereira at 184.6. In the strawweight championship co-main event, champion Carla Esparza and former champion and now challenger Zhang Weili both came in 114.8. Former interim lightweight champion Dustin Poirier came in at 156 for his highly anticipated fight with three-time Bellator champion Michael Chandler at 155.8. Frankie Edgar's retirement fight, 135.6 for the answer, and his opponent Chris Gutierrez taking advantage of the 1 pound for a non-title fight, 136. The main card opener, Dan Hooker, coming in at 155.8, and the streaking Claudio Puelles in at 155.2. Renato Moicano, 155.8, and Brad Riddell, 155.6 for the lightweight prelim closer. We had a miss in the Dominick Reyes Ryan Spann fight. Dominick Reyes coming back from a 560-day layoff to fight Ryan, making it weight 205.4. Ryan Spann, unfortunately, one of the last people to weigh in, did not make it. 206.6, 0.6 over the light heavyweight limit. Erin Blanchfield and Molly McCann, both official for Saturday's fight. Blanchfield championship weight 125. McCann slightly over 125.4, but it's a non-title fight, so that doesn't matter. Andre Petroski 185.8 for his middleweight bout with Duke of Wellington Turman at 185.2. Atman Azatar, he's also coming back from a long layoff. Ethan Hunt himself 155.6. He beat Matt Favola. He came in 154.8. Strawweight bout, Karolina Kowalkiewicz and Silvana Gomez Juarez, 155.6. Both fighters hitting that weight. Mike Trizano, our second miss of the day, 147.6, over 1.5 pounds over the featherweight limit. He's fighting Seung Woo Choi, coming at 145.6. Bantamweights Julio Arce, Montel Jackson, no problem, both coming in at 135.8. And then we had some drama at the end too. Carlos Ulberg, 205.2, weighed in way earlier, no problem. Nico Negamurianu, we just saw him, last man to weigh in, magically shed 0.2 pounds, took those shorts off, no issue, 206, just made it. And there we go. We have our card. We are still waiting to hear what's going on with Ryan Spann and Mike Trizano, what their penalty will be if those bouts proceed as catchweights. Sorry, my sound just went out.
All right, we done?
All right, I think we're done. Yes, thank you for tuning in. A lot of drama. Holy crap, a lot of drama. But thank you guys. Thank you, Jose, of course, who is on site and will be on site for, again, the rest of the weekend, provided we'll be doing preview show later. I don't know if Jose is on the preview show. Jose, either way, bringing you tons of high-quality content, as he has been all week. Casey in the truck. Mike, thank you for Mike Heck was joining us. Guys, heck of a morning, starting in less than half an hour. Tune in live for that on Twitter. We will see you later for the preview show, and there will be a Q&A, of course, before the fight tomorrow. Showtime starts, I believe, at 6 on... My brain just froze, Casey. What time does it show? Early prelims, 6 p.m. So we'll probably start the Q&A 5:15-ish.
2:15 Pacific.
2:15 Pacific time, 5:15 Eastern. But thank you everyone for tuning in. We have 2 title fights, and we have our main card intact, and it's going to be a great show. So take care, everyone, and we will see you very, very soon.